Hello, good evening, and welcome to Richard Keys and Andy Gray on a Sunday night. We're taking it back to 1984. Pez, how are you?
Mate, I'm all the better for seeing the brown hue of your face on camera.
What do you mean?
Oh, you just look tanned.
Oh,
you look relaxed. You've spent a bit of time in Botanic Gardens. I know that from Instagram stories. I won't look at you directly. You're right there, but we look down the camera at each other.
Couldn't really tell you what you looked like, if I'm honest.
Or how you feeling.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah. Oh, these guys have done this before.
Yeah, how many screens you got going there, pal?
Yeah. Don't show them what else is in the studio. We're just a couple of blokes who just sitting at a desk on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
We're just chat at a desk.
What are you doing your Sunday? Well, first, I worship at the Temple of Off Bail. And then I sit at a desk with me mates.
With my mate.
I get a bit of reef oil. I change these studio lights to tanning lights. And I just breathe in a bit of Sunday night women's cricket. You know why? Because it feels fucking good that my team is the best team in the world and nothing will ever change that.
Let's go there. Let's get right into it.
Doesn't it feel good to be the best? I feel like I'm like 10. No, older than that. 11.
Look, there's a lot of people who've been covering women's cricket in a very sophisticated and detailed manner for a long time.
That's true.
It occurs to me upon observing their analysis of this series that there may have been a little bit of luck for Australia, whether through rain, circumstance.
It's your opinion. It's your opinion.
That's right. A lot of people are keen to point out that India's coming. Go back to March 2020. Australia absolutely trounced them at the MCG. Yes. Okay, sure, India won in the early.
I'm sick of people telling me that something's coming, football's coming home, India's coming, Dad's never coming back. But you know what? I like to live in the here and now.
Yeah.
8-4, baby.
Yeah. 9-5. And
is it?
It is. It's 9. And this is what I was going to say. So a lot of people who want to point out, actually, Australia struggled a little bit. Matthew Mott out, hashtag. And I'm like,
that thing
and they say it like that.
Yeah. But Matthew Mott out, just like normal blokes having a beer around a table.
Right.
Matthew Mott out.
What's the hashtag for this one going to be, boys?
Yeah.
We're on WhatsApp because we're locked down.
Should we get some chips? Matthew Mott out.
And so a lot of people are saying this.
Yeah.
And yet, I sit here just like you.
That's right.
An Australian on a Sunday night, prime time, with my mate at a desk like normal blokes.
Should we get some chips?
Wanting some chips. The order's in.
Matthew Mott out.
Matthew Mott out. And I'm thinking it's 9-5, baby.
Yeah.
And guess what?
And guess
what? When the going got tough, the match was on the line. India buckled yesterday.
Wasn't a choke, but it was just
run-outs galore,
Yep.
terrible shots.
Yep.
Yeah, brought themselves back into it late, and Australia wobbled. Talia McGrath sorted out. Yeah, sorted it right out.
I feel like I'm looking at the future when I'm looking at T-Mac.
And guess what? Guess what? 9-5. You know what the word is? Unassailable. Going to the last game. It's an unassailable lead against India. It could be.
Doesn't that make you feel good?
It could finish 11-5. And we've got people on the chat here. I haven't even looked at one. People on the chat here saying, India's coming, Asian century.
Yeah.
Who fucking said Asian century? Fucking what?
Yeah, what?
Cool your Jets. This is why we're calling this game the Cool Thy Jets game.
Cool Thy Jets game.
It's the Cool Thy Jets series.
Jets need to be cool. Well, they're actually looking for a name of the series because currently it's Australia Women versus India Women series, which does have a certain ring to it, don't get me wrong.
Thank you, Lachlan, for the message. Boys, I've never seen a woman. Sorry. Just to open the chat.
That's good. That's good. I like that. I don't know. I don't think the name of that series is going to, induce the interest of, any Saudi Arabian funds, for instance, to take it over and invest some money.
Yeah.
But it does have a ring to it. The Australian women versus Indian women series of cricket.
Series of cricket.
Wasn't the World Series... No, what was one day cricket first called? World Series of Cricket? What was it called?
Benson and Hedges World Series, though?
No, there's a product you can get behind. Benson and Hedges.
R.I.P.
To all the people who consumed it for many years.
R.I.P. to, I guess, branded packaging. Plain packaging
cigarettes. Yeah. Oh, those were the days.
Catches win matches, matches light cigarettes, they used to say. Thank you to our sponsors, ACCO, who's just appearing above my head there.
Yeah.
Who bring you these videos
Now, Pez, while I've got you here, because you are just popping in and out for the next 4 hours or so, but let's have a look at the teams.
Yeah, please.
Now, Australia, a couple of changes you were telling me. You're telling me about a couple of changes.
One change coming into this last fixture. Here goes. It's Annabelle Sutherland who comes in for Hannah Darlington. So Hannah Darlington came in last game. Took a bit of tap towards the end of the game. End of the innings. Annabelle Sutherland comes in, another good cricketer. We're going to talk about that as the game goes on. So that's one change for India, and I'm just going to bring... And that's one change for Australia, sorry, and one change for India.
Yeah.
It's very sophisticated analysis. It's... I think Bhatia makes way for Harleen Deol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it could be Punjab, so it really depends who Australia want to play here this afternoon.
There we go. Brought it up. Have a look under the hood. Yeah, Australia versus Punjab Kings. That's a hell of a game.
There's a game.
Yeah.
There's a game.
So it's Deol who comes in for Bhatia.
Yeah, and as we peer over to our screen, Australia walking out to the crease now. Beth Mooney, Elisa Healy.
Doesn't that make you feel safe?
It makes me feel something. Yeah.
Hey, for those who might be tuning in for the first time, here goes. Can you provide a little bit of a legally correct description of what this is and what people can expect? Because it ain't ball by ball, baby.
Fuck. Well, legally, we can't tell you what's happening in the game, but we can provide a score, I think.
We'll find out.
little knock on the door one day.
Little cease and desist.
Yeah.
I want you to both cease and desist.
Yes, please. Don't do one or the other, do both. So we're just going to be having a chat. We're going to be getting through some comments here. If you got a comment, send a super chat. We can get your comments in. We can't get them up on screen, but we're looking at these comments as well through one of the about 15 different screens that we have next to us. So send in your questions. We'll answer them. We'll talk about the cricket. Won't be giving the ball by ball, but you guys are already probably watching the game anyway.
Exactly.
You just want some company. You want some chat. Hey, I tell you, it was a good conversation starter. Let me know where you are around the world right now watching this game. If you're watching the game, if you're just watching us, let me know. But let me know where you are around the world. That's always a fun experiment because we seem to have a large breadth of audience from all over. A lot of people in Canada for some reason. I mean, Canada's a great place. You're allowed to be there. Don't get me wrong.
Why are there people there?
Yeah.
I tell you what, I want runs from Healy. I haven't felt the love from Healy runs wise.
Yeah, I mean, people said she had a good nut last game. Not for me.
Let's talk about that ball.
Just the bat lives just out to gully a little bit. Yeah, just got to look to play straight there.
Shikapandi.
You just got to look to play straight there.
That's when you saw that ball, we were like, geez, she really squared herself off their heels.
Well, she just played all round.
She made that ball look better than it was.
I tell you what, she just had a little waft out sort of something. She's scared of all sorts of movement. How much of cricket is just the game is just played in your head?
Most of it. So is that a rhetorical question?
I don't know what it was.
Percentage.
I don't know what anything is anymore.
Yeah.
San Fran, Melbourne, Palo Alto. I like it.
Nice.
Now of course it's a big week in the men's cricket as well. If you like your capitalism, the IPL's reached the final stage.
So a lot of us do.
Hey, love a bit of capitalism.
Don't want to say it sort of outwardly from a branding perspective, but I mean, look at everything around.
Well, I used to support Man City, and now I'm more of a Newcastle fan. So that's just me.
When are they going to announce Mbappe? That didn't take long.
Benson's Lane, Richmond. Good. Denmark. Wagga
Imagine driving to Benson's Lane just to watch this stream.
Yeah. Where can I get the best internet reception? Benson's Lane 3.
Boys, over to the clubhouse at Benson's Lane. Let's go. Pez and Higos are doing a watch-along.
Charlotte. I like it.
Nice.
Washington, D.C.
Charlotte was a very cool team to support in 1993 era NBA, the Hornets.
Where did the band Good Charlotte originate from? I don't know if it was Charlotte.
Or if it refers to the city in and of itself.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, the Charlotte Hornets have a nice turquoise to them.
Yeah, really nice kit. I wouldn't mind a little bit of that from a retro perspective.
One of my first polos that I had was a Charlotte Hornets polo.
What?
Yeah.
A Charlotte Hornets polo. Like who's getting polo?
Well, I'm not going to wear a singlet.
You're getting NBA kit.
Yeah.
From like the golden era, and you opt to get a polo. Like you can take the North Shore out of the boy.
You like sports? You live in a rugby stronghold. NBA for me.
Yeah.
NBA.
Mum and Dad, can you get me a smart polo? Charlotte Hornets, please. I'm a real Larry Johnson fan.
Didn't Charles Barkley play for Charlotte for a bit?
Mate, I don't think so.
Someone let me know if I've got that wrong.
He was Phoenix, then Houston, wasn't he? Unless he was Charlotte before that.
First super chat coming, Pez, if you'll indulge me as as Pandy just gets into her work here, I'll keep up to the stumps as well. It's interesting. That's a nice straight blade from Healy.
Just get across their heels. Just block it off.
Prashish said, do you think we will have women IPL on the cards? If so, by when do you see it happening? Well,
you've been chatting with Dada.
I have a bit of a chat.
Yeah.
Bit of a chat during
the
week.
And you can exclusively reveal
that I'd go big on India for the World Cup. Like, my favourite thing about the women's IPL is that when you go to the IPL website, that's
back
close.
a long way. That is close.
That is close.
Do you burn a review on that?
No reviews. No reviews in the Gold Coast or wherever they play, North Queensland, wherever they're playing this game. Where is it? Metricon, Gold Coast, yeah.
Fortress Metricon. She's getting across there, so she's doing that deliberately to counter.
I reckon that's really close. I reckon that's out.
And
I've had one look at that from side angle. Just outside, yeah. When you go to the IPL website, you can go to like the men's or women's tab. It's like, I mean, Lisa Healy actually, as she faced up the last ball of the first over.
She's coming back a long way.
Oh, yeah.
And the keeper's up, so she can't come down the track to negate the swing, as they say. Maybe she should just back herself to hit it.
It wasn't even swing, though, that did her in the first game. That was just off the deck. It was like just a rapid off cutter.
Don't you feel, though, that it was enhanced by the shape of the ball coming in a little bit? You know, like it was starting to come in a little bit, and then that helped, but it was mainly the seam.
Yeah.
And as a grade cricketer, it gives me great pride, as it does with you, to just let people know who say, look, what a wonderful in-swinger. Actually, that was seam.
And you look at the
this thing I've got is this little stroke issue I'm trying to sort out, but that's neither here nor there.
I can actually, here we go. Look at this the little DRS thing. That's in line, and that is out. Top of middle.
Salmon.
Yeah. You know what, mate? Live, I just thought, you know.
Did you? Yeah, you knew that was out too.
I always get them right.
Oh, it's amazing.
I was going to say you can actually hear jazz all the time. That's why you sway your head and close your eyes. Just go. Oh.
I've got tinnitus.
It's actually an inner ear thing that
when I talk. Don't listen to me. I'm just.
So that's the first over, and that's the kind of stuff you can expect. Oh, none for none. Get on with it, Australia.
Australia just only want to do it on 19 overs.
Just see, I just look at the speed there. The first ball from Renuka was 99 clicks. Just see the speed guns all over the shop in up there in the old Gold Coast. My heart didn't beat for 6 minutes there.
Couldn't think of what to say, so you morphed into a country character. I'm doing this deliberately. It's just my brain doesn't work.
Taylor Vlamic bowled the ball. It was 145 Ks.
Yeah, that was quick.
yeah. Oh, that looks close to me.
Must have smashed it.
Couple of shouts here. Do you know if they're going to play in the same wicket they played on? Because the first T20 they played outside legger, isn't it? It's a bit short. Yeah, it's got to be outside leg. The first T20, like India were batting, and it looked flat. India were teeing us up. Looked good, and then obviously the storm came, and then it was all over. But and then the second game was like real tacky. That's what the players were saying. I see that the wicket next to this one is used, so I wonder if this is the same wicket as last night, but a different wicket from the first day. Or maybe it's the same day, same wicket 3 days in a row. I don't know. That's really fascinating, mate. Yeah, good chat.
It's really good, mate. Hey, thanks, Paramdeep. Very kind.
Vermal said Data is next to feature on Grey Cricketer. Waiting for that, boys.
Women's IPL, they've not really invested in it very well at the moment. And I saw that Harmanpreet Kaur mentioned the success of the WBBL last night when trying to explain Australia's success in the tougher moments in the game. She said there's no doubt that I'm paraphrasing, no doubt the WBBL assists the players in working out how to navigate those pressure moments, and that a women's IPL would be very helpful for younger players coming through. You'd have to imagine that it's inevitable at some point.
Yeah, didn't Lisa Healy about a year ago have like this some Twitter beef with some Indian journalist about nice shot there, first boundary of the match, I reckon. Some beef about like the IPL. The women's IPL wanted to be played the same time as with the existing WBBL. And then Lisa Healy was like, we fucking got a tournament. Like, why do you need to...
Well, there's a clear answer to that.
Yeah.
to cripple Australian cricket and all competitors.
Well, how long before India start fucking playing in the Ashes? Because the amount of comments that I'm seeing on my own tweets, comments in our videos, like, guys, do you think the biggest series is actually Border Gavaskar? Just fuck off, all right? Can you fucking let us have something? Like, we've given you everything, and you've taken everything, and you know what? Rightfully so. Can we just have the Ashes? Can we just have that? Or do you want to fucking play in everything as well? Can you fuck off? Go on, Healy. Yeah, you're walking.
Oh, she's walked.
Walking.
Healy. All right, well, now we've got a talking point for the next 3 hours.
Don't rate that. I do not rate that.
Do you reckon, when you get out, just a chance to allow for the umpire and make the decision before they do?
That was sharp gloves. Sharp gloves.
Yeah, I had my head down.
Keep up to the stumps, medium pacer, back foot. That's a good catch. Oh, that's a really good catch.
Good catch, yeah.
Good hands. Healy
struggled.
Hasn't had a great summer.
No, she hasn't.
I mean, there's the Ashes to come, which is, again, is just actually...
No, her summer's over.
It's actually going to be India playing. That's actually Australia-India, but India going to be wearing a different kit.
Yeah, there's been some suggestions from in the comments, which are very valid, that perhaps we consider it a tri-series, the Ashes, with India involved.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Give us something.
So Ishan's asked us to come back on women IPL. You would have to imagine that there's going to be a women's IPL. It just makes sense.
Oh, yeah, of course there's going to be, yeah.
As someone who's not from India, I assume that the project is for complete dominance in cricket in all facets.
Yeah.
Economic, so off-field and on-field.
Yes.
And so if a women's IPL assists the Indian women to dominate us there, then it will happen. Mm-hmm. And
it's also, like, the thing about that row again going back with Elisa Healy, because they were planning it for literally the same window that the WBBL was on. And it's like, hey, there are some other windows where you can play cricket in the women's calendar because they obviously don't play enough.
Yeah, but there's no better window to cripple Australian cricket.
Well, that's the thing. It's got to be to the detriment of... It's not just about raising themselves up. It's about to the detriment of others, which is part of the whole century. Right. And that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
So...
And if the Australian players go over to it, then, we burn their effigies.
What would it take
as we have the men?
What would it take for you to burn an Elise Perry effigy? Not much. She gives up one summer for the Sixers.
I recognise that I've created the image of burning effigies of women, and I'd like to withdraw it.
Okay, right. Sure. Yeah. I think what the thing that India's missing is like just the big like India-Pakistan series. Like the series of old. But they're going to have that in the World Cup.
What do you guys reckon about that?
Just be careful in those comments. Mergate said, I don't understand why home umpires are used when there is no DRS. India robbed off one more wicket here. Yeah, that like every series everywhere has got home umpires, man. And there's no DRS, I presume, because they don't have the technology at this stadium.
Oh, really?
Which I think that's why I don't have the DRS in the Big Bash either, because the stadiums they play at, they're not fitted for.
That's not what I actually heard. Ramesh Raja came in and said no, just all non-Indian umpires. So,
what do you mean?
I mean that I think our commentator is suggesting that India have been robbed of wickets.
Yeah.
I think he's onto something.
Oh. Well, so Ramesh Raja is saying...
Yeah, because when Ramesh came in as chairman of Pakistan, PCB, I think he actually had one vote in the ICC, and his vote was to actually get rid of umpires that support Indian cricket.
Really? Fuck, that's brave.
So, yeah, it's not just home umpires, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ninja, are you going to do watch along with the IPL final? No, because it starts at 1 a.m.
Could not be a worse time.
And we just want to actually watch that ourselves.
And the problem with it is that it's not so much the 1 a.m. start; it's the 5 a.m. finish. Like what do you do then?
No, the 1 a.m. start's a problem for me.
Sure, but like it's that 4-hour window. Could not be worse. Because then, you staying up, or what are you doing? Then you ruin the day. Do you get up later? But then,
we've got to eat some chips together and watch it. And we'd just like to sort of analyse the game a bit as well.
If I just move my hands, does that sort of explain the difficulty?
Yeah.
No, but the schedule this week is that we will be doing. That's a lovely shot by Mooney. I think Mooney. Well, she was leading run scorer in the World Cup.
Mooney's the second ranked batter in the world in women's cricket. She's actually Australia's best bat.
That's what I was going to say. But you know what? Meg Lanning is like the doyenne. Is that the right term? Of like women's cricket in Australia. Like she is like the queen. Like she is supposed to be the fucking Bradman essentially. But I've never really seen her do it. And like that's on me. I'm not saying like she must have scored a lot of runs elsewhere. I can see she's a very good player.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, where are the runs?
Did you see it?
Yeah, it's like emails.
Have you seen the runs?
I want to see Lanning's emails. What the fuck does that mean? Lovely shot by Mooney. Yeah,
that's a shame. So the women's IPL is going to assist some of the fielding issues.
Can DRS be replaced by coin toss where tech is not available? Can DRS be replaced by a coin toss?
So, yeah, the appeal goes up.
Yeah.
And the umpire says not out. You're not sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
and you go, I'd actually review that. We don't have the tech. Oh, well, just toss the coin.
Heads.
Out.
Yeah. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, so I hope that helps.
Yeah.
She's not getting quite as much swing. I got a hard optic here. Something for our studio to work on later.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's just a head turn.
Oh yeah.
You know? Oh,
sure.
You're there.
Sure.
Anyway.
Sure. Fourth wall stuff there. Fuck yeah, these comments are lighting up. What are you expecting this game? You're just expecting just domination. I expect the women's team to win every game. And when they weren't winning the test match, when they weren't winning the first ODI, when they almost lost the second, when they almost lost the second ODI, when they lost the third ODI, when they almost lost the first T20, I don't like it.
I think it's really clear that like India are getting better, but also Australia are missing 3 absolute worldies from their side.
True.
And
True.
I think that we'd have a different result if those worldies are available. So you're missing Shooter, you're missing Jess Jonathan, you're missing Rachel Haynes. They're pretty big contributors.
Yeah.
And so, hopefully we already have an unassailable 9-5 lead in this multi-format
it doesn't feel
series.
like we're nearly twice as good in this series.
No, it doesn't, but we are because the best team always wins because they find a way to win.
Well, I feel like I'm just going to have to take the wins where we can get them because I feel like it's going to be a bit of a lean patch coming up for the old...
Well, you answered your question.
Saying that, mate. Now let's go really deep into Ash's chat. When I think about like all the conversations around like, Payne and his replies to the Barmy Army and all this stuff and like... I think about like, like Australia's not going that great. And I'm thinking like, but how did England do anything? Like, none of them are good. They have one good player who's never scored 100 in Australia.
We're talking about the Ashes now?
Well, I don't know. I'm talking about something. You know what I mean? Like, you think about like, the possibilities. Yeah, it's like, okay. Warner, it's like, is he out of form? A bit of a decline there. Yeah, Payne, sure, no test hundreds. The Langer situation, all this. I'm like, yeah, okay. Then I think about the team that England are going to play, and I'm like, it's probably the worst team that's come out here in, I don't know, 20 years? Maybe not that long.
They said the same in 1986. Can't bowl, can't bat, can't field.
Yeah, but come on.
What, 1986 doesn't count?
Well, I don't remember it. I don't know what you're talking about. When you saw Payne's comments replying back to the Barmy Army, were you a bit like, that's a shame. That's 1-0 Barmy Army.
Oh, yeah. I love that like Payne responds and it's a fairly like logical response.
Is it?
But logical in terms of content, but not logical that he opted to respond.
Yeah. It felt a bit, how many tests have you played? That's what it felt like to me.
Oh, but that's all that these guys have got.
Sure.
And then the response to that was like, got a nibble from you though, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Get the...
Do you know the
It's me shooting people.
Yeah. The problem is that like no country celebrates shithousery and like others losing better than England. That's like the entire economy based around football is like, I don't care if my team's shit. There's someone else who's worse, and I want to laugh at you for that. Yeah. So it's like, we all know Australia's going to win 5-0. Yeah, but your captain's no good. And you can't buy into that because that's the English economy with cricket. That's their sport economy. Like they, and I'll tell them what their economy is as well.
Can I say, like, I think that, and you're, engaging in this, but others are as well. I think it's ill-advised and a mistake to continue to say that Australia's going to win the series 5-0. Not because, like I understand the logic of it. I'm not sure this team is, though England are bad, I'm not sure that they're capable of 5-0, of like winning a series 5-0.
Yeah.
Though, like, England are quite bad. Yeah. I just don't think they're in a place as a team where they can do that.
Because it's going to be wet, so it'll be a couple of draws.
That's right. Just because... But
you got to factor that in,
The deeper question I want to ask about the Ashes is like,
okay. Should India play it?
No, but what is success for Australia if they're so expected to win?
Yeah,
So what's the I don't know how to fucking talk about overs and unders, but like, what are they meant to do for people to be happy? Because we're all going, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. It's like they've not done anything like that under Justin Langer's reign. No. Like they don't smash teams.
No, we smashed them 2-2 over there.
Wallop them.
Because I'm wrapping in like the Ashes into the COVID experience of the last 18 months down here especially, and nothing would make me sadder than a drab 3-1 series victory. Like it's just middling. Like it's just like, what's that? Like 2-1, like fucking nothing in it for anyone. The last 2 tests come around. They're not going to play in Perth because fucking the Premier won't open up the state. Premier/Prime Minister of Perth won't open up the state. So they're going to play 2 games in Sydney. It's going to be a dead rubber. By then, England like bringing out trying some leg spinner who play like 4 games in 2s out here or some shit. And it's like, I don't know, eh?
So that you like
Newcastle's doing well though in the Prem. That Rona's chopped up a journalist.
Bone sawing.
Yeah. Century Circuit chop.
What was the question?
I don't know.
You were just saying that it's going to be sad if Australia doesn't win 5-0.
Yeah. It's just there's dead rubbers early. What's in it for anyone? But that's cricket, isn't it?
You know how it is in sport. Like you can sort of, if you war game it, you're like, you can actually go through every player and then there's a bull case and a bear case for them. Like David Warner in Australia, one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
Also 35 and hasn't hit one off the square for like 3 years.
Sure.
You can do that with every player. Steve Smith, England's great nemesis, can't get him out. Also Steve Smith, since the last Ashes in 2019, people have worked out how to bowl to him.
Yeah.
Hasn't scored a run.
Yeah, and he's been tanning with Stoinis.
Exactly. Like, Aussie quicks, best of all time, bowl out India for 36. Next thing you know, none of them can bowl. Half of them got back injuries that are unreported, and they should be subbed, but they're not, and they lose to India.
Yeah.
Like, England, none of them have ever scored a run out here. Oh, that's actually it. They average 30, but then you go, oh, yeah, but Milan scored 100 out here. Oh, what if they get James Vince involved? He's done well out here. Joe Root's, is the most informed batsman in the world.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, if I just squint enough into the 3D image, I might see something.
Like England somehow win the World Cup and then Australia knocked out like second.
Exactly. Australia's in bits.
In the round, yeah.
Australia's in absolute bits.
Absolute
Various
bits.
journalists are calling for Langer's head.
Mate, I mean, absolute
like getting the Saudis to Langer.
Fuck.
It could all happen. Like I'm just not sure the I like the bluster of 5-0, but it's just like I just don't think they're capable of 5-0.
Yeah.
I didn't think they'd be capable of 5-0 against Gordon under 12s at the moment.
Well,
they would. They're just a strong team.
Yeah.
Young boy coming through from Monash.
Is he 12?
Yeah, good point.
Great touch from Mooney. I saw you guys can obviously see the score, but which seems to be slightly behind.
Jot Sidhu, 9-5 is not a true reflection of the series. Well, it's the truest reflection. It's maths.
It's maths, baby.
Nothing could be truer.
Said Will Hunting over here. Meg Lanning changed her bat just at the end of last over.
Right.
What do you make of that? I mean, as in, it's unrelatable content because, like, how many bats have you had in your kit at one time?
Sorry, I was just thinking about Saudis and journalists.
Oh, yeah.
Meg Lanning and her bat. But
Right.
it's just some hard segues.
Yeah.
So what do I think about, how many kids have I ever had in my...
Have you ever had
kids?
How many kids have you had? That's more Saudi Arabia stuff. Yeah, how many bats have you ever had in your kit at one
never
time?
more than two.
Never more than two. And have you ever changed your bat mid-innings? I think I did once, but I don't know why.
Never.
I definitely play with it. I definitely play with the bloke who brought out like his pinch hitting bat. It's like, oh yeah, now this will be the thing.
Yeah. What do you make? Go on. Actually scored some runs?
230, yeah.
That's right.
One of the best things I've ever seen. It's actually club record. We carried him off the field that day.
That's right. His name, Simon Kadich.
Which was just a coincidence. This guy was actually a right arm off spinner.
Yeah, no, I've never changed bats before. I was never big on having heaps of gear. I got in when later on, towards the end of my career, I did understand having multiple sets of gloves. But
yeah, sure.
That was as much as I got. And I never batted long enough to feel like I could ask for a new pair of gloves.
Yeah, sure.
Though I could get sweaty hands.
I'm not a big sweater organically.
Right. I'm an enormous sweater.
Enormous sweater?
You're
an enormous sweater.
If I'd go to Bikram Yoga,
yeah,
sample size class of 30,
yeah,
and there would be a particular pose about 14 of the 28 in or 30 in or something where you'd be holding your elbow up. And at that point,
working the front arm.
At that point, sweat would be pooling on my elbow and dripping in this, sedate kind of tranquil room.
Yeah.
In rhythm onto my mat.
It's quite hypnotic. It's like Chinese
culture. And I've done Bikram yoga classes in about 3 or 4 different places in different countries.
Right.
And at no point has any other person in a sample size of 30 had sweat pooling like that at that point. So I could only conclude that in every class I was the sweatiest person.
That's a medical issue.
So we're just different like that. I'm just being really clear about how sweaty I get.
Sure, yeah. So a couple of gloves, eh? Boys, gloves. Satisfying to do.
And if I change gloves, I'd do it like drinks or some shit.
Just even like that's one of the most alpha moments where you can literally like bellow to the team to then act as your personal staff to fetch you something because of the heroism that you're showing on the field for your third grade team against the second worst team in the comp after Christmas when no team can make finals.
Steve Cassell, it's like guitarists who have multiple guitars. Do you think they just do that to their roadies? Like that's the equivalent of gloves. Boys. But it couldn't be that because yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Okay, Basab Gosh, hello TGC. Do you think Perry's lacking in confidence, more fluent before the injury? Well, I would think. I don't know what injury I've got. No, he said otherwise. She was more fluent before her injury.
In a bowling, I presume.
I guess.
Yeah, she popped a hammy.
Fluent is a very popular verb for batting at the moment, I find. Oh, they played fluently. Does that just mean you look coordinated?
You look
There's a certain symmetry.
Mate, you looked really coordinated today.
Yeah, but a certain symmetry.
That was a great 25 off 50. Good fielding.
I'll tell you what. Here's a little tidbit for you.
Oh yeah, I like tidbits.
You note in the Shield that actually the question is who doesn't score 100 at Karen Rolton Oval.
I would hate to bat 5 in Shield cricket. Yeah. Don't get a hit.
Yeah. Well, I learnt that Karen Rolton herself averaged 55 in Test cricket.
Yeah.
And like 50 in T20 cricket and 48 in ODI cricket.
Wow.
And so maybe the ground is actually just being true to the bit.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You're talking about Bradman's
in homage.
Yeah. Karen Rolton, very good stick. So while you're going to make a flat track.
Yeah, so at Old Trafford where the Jimmy Anderson end is, just goes around corners there.
That's right.
Other end flat. But
And Lords, that's where they do a lot of politics.
Yep. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. You got to shoot. You got to shoot sometimes.
Durant.
So I'll shoot till my arm falls off.
Ben Bradshaw, Pez is an unbelievable sweater.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Jay Solanke, Sam Perry is lacking everything. That's good.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, so our agenda our schedule for this week, we're doing the morning after IPL tomorrow. We are doing one on Tuesday, and there's also the main podcast comes out on Tuesday. On Thursday, Thursday is the winner. Thursday is the loser of 1 versus 2 and winner of 3v4 game. That is the last episode of Watto's Wrap. And then Saturday morning is the final of the IPL, which we're doing our last morning after IPL. So that's what's on this week. Plus Patreon. Patreon.com/GreatCricketer if you want to join. Hashtag AskTDC Fridays, which comes out every single, what, Pez?
Friday.
Yeah, and you can also click join just below here, and you can join the Coat tier to get that as well if you can't access Patreon, because some people have problem with credit cards for Patreon. Yeah. What about this start here, Pez? 1 for 39 off 6.3. When the wicket's slow again.
Well, it's not a lot of runs during the power play in that situation, but and I tell you what, they've won the toss and chosen a field off the back of how much dew there was last night as well. They said, so it's going to be tough to bowl in the second dig. The ball will be coming on nicely.
So did Meg Lanning say that she was going to bat anyway?
She said she was going to bat anyway, but I wonder if they say that.
I've noticed this with Lanning, though. Like in the dead rubbers, she doesn't chase. Like when she gets the option, she bats first, because like her whole thing is chasing. She averages like fucking 200 chasing. But I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it, to mix it up?
I don't know, mate.
In case you're put in that position in a must-win game.
Hey, Savesh Kango, welcome to Coat, brother.
Welcome to Coat.
Thanks very much.
Indian spinners are fucking really good, as I say, as Meg Lanning just hoiks 1 for 4. But Indian spinners, I noticed that was one thing I noticed in last night's game. Last night's?
Yeah,
last night's game. Fuck, so much cricket. As soon as pace came on the ball, Australia looked comfortable. But spinners pace off. The skills of the Indian bowlers.
Yeah.
Looked in all sorts.
I think the Australian spinners are great. I think that Ash Gardner is a wonderful bowler.
Yeah, I agree.
And she's come on.
She's got better.
Man, her action, talk about fluence.
Yeah.
She has a
has
really...
just hit wicket? Has Lanning just hit wicket here?
Oh, dear.
Oh, well. She just played a late cut for 4, and it's hit wicket, I reckon.
Wow.
Oh,
Can you believe it? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Australia in all sorts.
This is... We need an investigation to the culture of the team. The captain's doing this.
This is hashtag Mott out.
Yeah, just clicked it. I mean, Bradman played a nice late cut, but...
She got real deep, didn't she? I mean, at least her feet are moving.
Oh. Have you got out in any weird ways?
None that spring to mind. Yeah.
No.
Yourself, I don't think what are the weird ways are really like hit wicket,
hand the ball, timed out, that kind of shit. But I never did any of that.
Yeah.
That actually was it the South African domestic league where I don't know, I didn't recognize the player, but like fucking smashed off something out of the ground playing a square cut.
Yeah.
That was checking the front foot. Fucking hell.
Just inside.
Yeah. It's actually too far back. Cheating. Well, I don't know what we need to keep looking at. She's fucking smashed off stump. So that's the thing about professional cricket, Pez, and let me tell you about what it is about.
Please, yeah.
That these players have so many hits that, like, I mean, imagine if you did that on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
You hit your wicket on a Saturday. That's like
I wonder if she's ever done that in training.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. But like, you know what I mean? Like the feeling that you'd have is like, I might not bat again for 3 weeks. Bit of rain around stuff.
You know, like when you bowl no balls as a bowler, usually there's a story behind that. You've been doing it at training. You've developed bad habits. It's a feel thing. I mean, batting's no different in that situation. Like to go that far. I mean, she'd play a lot of shots off the back foot, Meg Lanning. I'd be curious as to whether it's something that she's experienced before. Or she's like, wow, on this one occasion while I was actually playing for my country, I really just got all the way back. Yeah. I mean, that bowling is very slow. There's a lot of time to get back.
Maybe the keeper was talking shit. Give a little bit of clip.
Along the way.
A little clip.
Shree Singh. Right. Thanks, Shree. and you've paid for this question. Favorite drinks, followed by an emoji of a beer with heavy froth. Gee, I'd love a beer. I'd love a schooner.
Yeah?
Oh, I just at a pub because we've been denied that for a long time.
I remember those.
I'd love a schooner. Oh, favorite drink.
Oh, yeah. Different drinks for different needs for me.
Yeah, of
So
course.
me, lager.
Yeah, yeah.
Gara, Finchy lager.
Yeah.
Pez, lager, sometimes cider. So, yeah, Mooney just does the business again. Now, for me, different drinks, different times. So, like, for me, love a Pinot Noir. Been drinking a lot of red wine recently, especially in lockdown. Some would say too much.
Who's that? Who'd say that?
Just my doctor.
Doctors.
Yeah. But then, like, I reckon the best alcoholic drink that you can have would be, I'll come back with you. Stay in shop. Is like if you've been fielding after a day of cricket.
Yeah, here we go.
And the other team has hit just an embarrassing score, like a score that you basically murmur when you go back to the clubhouse and other grades say, like, how was your day? You murmur it and you blame it on someone else.
Yep.
But the best beer is you have one of those days, you field it all day in the dirt, and you have a tinned domestic lager, which is the only time that I would ever drink that.
Straight off the field or back at the club?
Straight off the field.
Yeah.
In the sheds.
So you think that the worse the day, the better the beer?
Well, that's how I solve my problems.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm Louis Theroux.
Mooney just fucking towing me up the leg side here. It's got a line on here, Harmanpreet Kaur. Yeah, Mooney. I was just thinking, just briefly, I was just thinking about how Healy and Lanning haven't really scored runs this summer in this series anyway. It's actually been, I mean, Tylee McGrath, I think, has been the find of the summer for Australia. She's been like amazing with the bat. She's an all-rounder. But then Beth Mooney scored a lot of runs this summer, and she is a very
And yet
good
Australia's still unassailable going to the last game.
Unassailable. Cannot be sailed. Anyway, now you tell me. You tell me what your drinks are.
Oh, I really like that. I'd like to stick for a second with the post-cricket beer because I've never thought about it in terms of a quality sense, like though it is high quality as you say it, and I'm thirsting for that scenario right now.
Doesn't even really. I've got it.
Yeah, a little dry mouth there, trying to wet that whistle.
What are you doing there, mate? Wetting my whistle.
I remember.
Why are you naked?
I remember going up to, speaking of like beers that I remember that I enjoyed.
Sure.
I remember going up to Byron Bay with a friend of mine before a music festival in, I'm going to say, and I will say, 2005.
Okay.
And
thank you for thinking about that.
We actually stayed at Brunswick Heads, which was just out of Byron, and we went to the big pub there. And I think it was called, I think it might be the Brunswick Heads Hotel.
Sure.
And a man,
nice ring to it.
He brought out, and he brought out, and they drink 4X up there. That's a Queensland beer. It's near Queensland, and they drink a lot of 4X.
Yeah,
and it's not a particularly nice tasting beer.
No, it's not.
But he brought them out.
You know what it is?
It's
cat piss.
So that's right. But against that backdrop, it was a sunny day, and we were 20 years old, and we'd driven up to Byron.
You're living.
And it was just the two of us. Mates are coming later, and he just placed it on this wooden table outside in this beer garden, and he said, "Boys, here's your liquid gold."
Fuck yeah.
And I still remember I could see through that amber ale of the gold, and absolute cat piss.
Fucking threw it in his face. Never saw him again.
Spat it out.
Yeah.
So is that aside?
You have to remove him from the friendship circle. Is that bad? Absolutely terrible drink. Absolute cat piss.
Here's your liquid gold. What's this cat piss? Fuck out of here. So just on the beer, I always equated that beer with one that made you about 10 times more pissed than because of the dehydration, etc. You were just absolutely fucked after that one beer. Yeah. Can't walk.
Yeah, and in what state of clothing were you? Were you betrothed?
I would like to. I've never had like the natural rig to just kid around with my top off.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I was like not carrying a lot of fat, run a lot, but just wasn't my sort of bag. But I did like my pants off.
Yeah.
I'd keep my underwear on. I wouldn't sit there with my penis out drinking.
What I would do is because
it would distract people.
I'd be fully naked, but I would leave my shoes on.
Yeah, so you remove your socks and put your shoes back in your spikes.
put them back on, take them off, and I put them back on. You never feel more naked than when you are naked just with shoes on. That makes you more naked than if you were.
Of course.
That's how I used to enjoy my beers.
Yeah.
I used to walk into the umpires' rooms like that. You guys want a beer?
Yeah. They were the best beers.
They were the best beers.
Oh, it's got another one. Throw 58. Okay. Cat amongst the pigeons, whatever
Ash
that means.
Gardner. No runs this summer either. Did she hit that? I mean, isn't that funny? That was just my instinct. I don't believe the umpire. Don't believe. Claire Polisak actually officiated a number of my games.
It was interesting that, like...
That's a half volley.
It is, and...
I think she's late on it.
When you're the keeper, the bat's so far away from the body,
yeah,
she's either nicked it or she hasn't, but the keeper appeals.
Yeah.
So the keeper isn't sure what that noise is. Because if your bat's that far away from your body, you know when it's a nick.
Yeah.
Like it's a celebration.
Yeah.
But I do find that women appeal far more, and this is a compliment, with far more respect to the umpire.
Yeah.
They literally ask the umpire the question.
Yeah.
I believe it's out, but I'm appealing to you to confirm that decision.
I'm appealing to your good nature.
I'm appealing to your judgment.
And your hierarchical position.
That's right. Yeah. As the judge and officer of the law of this game.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how I appeal. Everyone's different.
By the time you finish, everyone's sitting down.
That's right.
Pez, you finish the over, mate?
I write it down, and this is an appeal. Submission. It's got 1A.
It's actually got a seal from your family emblem. You stamp it. Then you hand it to the umpire.
Here's Pez. Talk about safety.
Yeah. But yeah, the problem is...
beers.
The problem is, the afterplay beer, the problem. When you have one, it's like, see you later.
Oh.
See you later.
Yeah.
No one's ever had one beer after a day of play. But then rightfully so, they changed the laws where you drive. You have to drive home.
You and I are different, but I think we might have the same affliction. So I don't judge you.
No.
But it's been told to me that others can have one beer.
Foreign to me.
Yeah, I don't understand the idea.
Yeah.
I work on it.
Okay.
I'll work on it. One's too many, 10's not enough.
It's like when a traveller...
Go and see somebody, they say.
Travellers come back from a different village and they say, this is what they do here. And it's like, no, it simply cannot be so.
Yeah, that's right.
The golden elixir of cat piss.
No, that beer does go down very well.
Yeah. One's not enough. No, sorry, one's too many, 10's not enough. Yeah. Exactly it.
Yeah. Drinking peppermint tea.
Yeah, that's right.
Couple of other questions. I mean, when's so Kenny? I want to stick. Can we just keep the drinks question as a motif?
We simply must.
Kenny Omega writes in, when's Damn Deep coming back? For those who aren't aware, and it would be many, Damn Deep is a wonderful contributor to our Patreon, which you can join, patreon.com/GrowCricketer for extra content, and it's when it gets loose. More chats like this. Damn Deep, a wonderful contributor on the thread. But Damn Deep wrote to us and said, he needs to take a break from the internet, and far be it from us to judge that.
Nothing was more relatable. Yeah. Nothing was more relatable. Darav said, "What's the score?" How can you comment but not look in the bottom left of your screen, brother?
But maybe he means it philosophically.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, take his point. Put COVID to me in grade terms. 9 for 35.
COVID in grade terms. They've got a bloke that's rapid.
Now, whilst we just have a little break here in between the overs, I'll put up the scorecard.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Have a look at the situation so far. It's a scorecard there. Beth Mooney once again holding down the fort. 39 off 24. Have a look at the bowlers here. Pez. Pajab obviously having a great start. Chris Jordan, I was surprised that he got a game in this game.
And Mayank went for a fair few.
And there we are. The Indian bowling card. If you are just catching up, indeed. Karan said, we need R-rated commentary with boys. Let's file a petition to the ICC. Well...
You've got it right now,
This is it. This is it.
Don't you have it? What more do you need?
Deepty's coming on.
Oh, here we go.
Rolling
Deepty.
out some...
Hell of a matchup, this. Booge. Yeah, so back to the drinks question.
Yeah, go on then.
I really like what you said about the beers.
Thanks.
I liked how you also started to talk about you were saying different strokes for different folks, but like different drinks for different times.
Yeah.
From a red wine perspective, I like a heavier red.
Sure. Because you have it with food? Like, would you ever just drink a red?
No, I can answer that. I was sort of conditioned into red wine from my wife.
Yeah.
And I moved down to Melbourne when I was 25. And, like, I'd had some experience with red before then, but, like, my wife knew a lot more than that. When I moved down to Melbourne when I was 25, like a Cab Sav, a deeper red goes with the weather. So, like, the colder it is,
true.
the deeper you want your red.
For sure.
Whereas, like, you head up to Sydney, there's a lot more Pinot Noir drinkers. It's a lighter red. The sun's out a little bit more. You don't want that, like, heaviness sitting with you. And that it probably does tend to go with food. But the conditions, you go out in Melbourne on a winter's night.
That's right.
Back in the day, you're a little bit of a fuckboy. You're wearing scarves and whatnot. And the deeper red kind of goes with that. A Cab Sav, a Shiraz,
See, for
a
me,
Merlot
like,
on the lighter side.
See, for me, like a summer rosé.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I
Absolutely delightful.
I don't really touch rosé. So I just like a deeper red, really.
Yeah, sure. But also, like, back in my clubbing days, when I used to go to the Arctic and I used to kill seals, we, on those ships, on those clubbing expeditions, when we used to go clubbing.
We go clubbing, yeah.
We go clubbing.
Yeah.
Couple of clubbies.
Yeah. That has a different meaning when you're on those ships.
That did very different meanings on those ships.
Couple clubbies here.
Come on.
Fuck, you're a bit of a fucking clubby, aren't you? Well, yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah.
What are we here to do?
We all replied the same Seek advert. Clubby.
So yeah, back in your clubbing days when you were a clubby out in the Arctic.
That's right.
What drinks did you like there? Welcome to the future of sports broadcasting.
I used to drink a lot of vodka lime soda.
Yep.
Because it got to a certain point in the evening where I was like, well, now it's a race. And now it's a race about how many drinks I can have.
Oh, really? It was a race thing. I would have thought.
Well, in terms of like,
if you're tuning in by race, we mean a speed issue, and that was probably also involved.
It's a race issue.
We
start a Chinese restaurant to start with. Right, that's how we start.
Easy.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the end of that joke immediately. It
was a race.
So, like, if you're in a group of four, you're sitting around a table, you're having your chips. You're saying Matthew Mott out.
I'm with you.
Okay, that's a glorious shot from Perry. That's going to find the boundary. Oh, great
That's
fielding.
fantastic fielding.
Oh, that is sensational. Just got in the big mitt.
Yeah, big old mitt. Big bucket hands.
Big bucket hands.
Fuck, it's great. I'd love to have big buckets.
Be nice, wouldn't it? So you're sitting around four people on the table, right? You're going like schooner for schooner, pint for pint, right? And then it gets to a point.
How old are you?
You're 28.
Okay.
And it's so specific. Not 27, not 29. That's very important, which will come around to the second part of this story in about an hour and a half.
Yep. So 28 years old,
You're 28
schooner
years
for
old.
schooner, pint for pint.
Exactly. And then you're in the 7 to 9 bracket. So you've had between 7 and 9
Sitting at a table.
of those drinks sitting at a table. And then it's like, and then someone makes a call where it's like, oh, I'm full with beers now.
Yeah. Someone does that.
And then
It's true. I'm with you. I'm not sure about 7 to 9, but
well, yeah.
that's okay. Each to their own.
And then
This is your story.
And then you go into a lighter beverage where it's like it's basically not even touching the sides anymore. And the pace of the round might go from basically maybe like 2 in an hour, 2 beers an hour. It goes into now like every 15 minutes.
Yep. Everybody needs a drink in that circumstance. Mine was Scotch and dry, and still is.
That's a nice drink. That's civilized though.
I think it appealed to me because I heard someone else get it, and I was like, oh, I like that brand, that image. I found vodka lime soda to be a bit tasteless, and I appreciate those who drink it for like fitness purposes.
But if you're doing that, fucking get in the bin. I'm sorry. If you like, if you're binge drinking, like,
So I liked a Scotch and dry in that circumstance, but I found it just went too quickly.
You like the scene of the Scotch and dry?
No, I actually really like the taste, Scotch and dry.
It is nice,
I don't put myself through. I mean, I would put through myself through enough pain, but
of course, that's
drinking in and of itself, disgusting taste.
I've never had like 32 Diet Cokes in a night, and like just need one more here.
That's right.
One more here, boys.
Exactly.
One brings 2.
Yeah.
One brings 2.
But you're right. You go from your beer to you graduate to a harder but easier drink.
That's right.
And so yours was vodka lime soda and mine was Scotch and dry.
And different bars, especially in Sydney, because you're not allowed to have any fun, they put as much ice in there as possible. And then at certain stages, you start putting your fingers in your drink and just withdrawing the ice. And then you're just throwing it. You're basically like buying around and going to the back of the line. It just be like, what are you doing? I'm just having the time of my life. I'm 28 years old in the time of life. What do you remember?
I know that I graduated to vodka lime.
I can remember every drop catch though. I remember I graduated vodka lime. Yeah.
What about you guys?
Exactly.
Fair few questions come in there.
Hey, just as the last ball, the over here from Pujar is being bowled.
Batted well last night.
Australia find themselves on 73 after 11 overs. What's a good score here, mate?
It's not a bad situation.
Have a look at the old batting card here just real quick. Yeah. Mooney's the key. Although Tyler McGrath Beth Mooney has been Australia's best batter. Tyler McGrath has been sensational.
She has been.
In the one-dayers and in the T20 last night.
Is there much after that?
Well, Nicola Carey bats 4 for Tasmania. George Warren gives it a whack, and I'm not sure about the rest.
Annabelle Sutherland's a very good cricketer. I wouldn't be surprised if Annabelle Sutherland is like the mainstay down the track, batting and bowling. They seem to have a few cricketers like that, Australia.
Yeah, that's what I found interesting.
A lot of all-rounders.
Because there was a lot of conversation about Australia playing like using 8 bowlers, and that being like a bit of a dilemma. Is it right for the balance? Good bowlers not bowling their full quota, all that kind of stuff. I find that interesting in the sense that I wonder with the development of the professional game, and I'm literally hypothesizing, and I'd love to be informed otherwise, but shot from Perry.
Shot Pez.
She just picked it out. Oh, fuck, I almost hit her in the face. Good catch. That like, I wonder if like the top level Australian cricketers, the women's cricketers I'm talking about specifically, are getting like so good at their skills that now like even the play, like I'm wondering how it's got to be that there are essentially 8 all-rounders for Australia.
Yeah.
And so are the top level professionals getting so much better than what's beneath? And unless you make it into that jump up, you can't really specialise. We don't have like a specialist. Like all our best bowlers happen to also be our best batters. It's just interesting that there hasn't been a development in more skills.
Yeah. Fair few all-rounders.
Specialist skills,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's an answer for that, but I just wonder if it's just the stage where...
I think that's probably right. It's a very highly resourced program at the top level. I mean, that is regularly called out, that they get a lot of opportunity beyond those who probably sit underneath. So, yes,
Absolutely.
once you get into that system, you're so heavily invested in that you're... secondary skill may be better than the first skill of those underneath.
I remember Ed Cowan talking about a player who played at my club who was talking like, because he scored some runs in first grade.
Yeah.
And he was just wondering why he hadn't made the leap up. And as Ed said at the time, if he like got into the system, he'd probably become like an exponentially better player. Because like once you turn professional, then your entire life becomes hitting balls, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's obviously in the men's game as well, but it seems very pronounced when you've got eight bowlers, which really means that 2 aren't bowling if you discount Elisa Healy.
Well, I think what you touch on there is really concerning, and I think that that's true too. Speaking about like the way the system works, I think it leaves and begs the question. And I said this to you and Ed the other day actually on WhatsApp, sort of half facetiously, but like, what is the point of grade cricket? Like because of the investment that's put into high performance systems and pathways, it becomes incumbent upon any player to get into that system at age 17 or 18 or whatever. Otherwise you'll be left behind. It's like I missed out on the top maths class in year 8. I was in the top maths class till year 7. I missed out. Bit of stuff going on at home, failed an exam, and I just got left behind for a couple of years. Tried to make it back, didn't have a Scooby-Doo.
Right.
And in the same way...
And you barely think about it now, obviously.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And but in the same way, like there's so much investment in high performance pathways now that you've got to get into that small select group to get access to all that coaching and all the education and all the investment and whatever. If you don't make it, you can't become a better player just by playing on Saturdays alone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And and it leaves the existential question of what is grade cricket for. And I just note, and it's something I've been looking into, that grade cricket has actually moved within Cricket Australia from being in the high performance department. So the bottom of the pyramid to make it to the top, it's moved, if you understand. So there's a pyramid making the top. Always went grade cricket, state cricket, test.
Got it.
Right? And they feed each other.
Yes.
Trickle down economics or whatever. Now grade cricket has been moved to community, to the community department. It's been moved out of high performance and it's being regarded as the top of the pleb pyramid.
Interesting.
Of cricket. And how do grade cricketers feel about that? I don't think they know about it or
so
care about
essentially,
what.
like grade cricketers are park cricketers. Might as well be. If you're outside the high performance,
tell me that's wrong because a lot of grade cricket. The whole aim of grade cricket is to delude yourself into thinking you're better than you are.
That's right.
But like it's now been almost formalised in the way Cricket Australia deals with it. I don't think you'd want to say that to a grade cricketer. No. They would all believe, oh no, you've got to, and Cricket Australia will say, oh, you've got to play grade cricket to be at the top. The truth is, none of these guys, I was going to call them coats, none of these coats want to play grade cricket. And grade cricket isn't a breeding ground anymore. The breeding ground for good players is like underage stuff.
Yeah, academy shit.
Yeah. And so what's the point? Because there's more money in lower level cricket, in sub-district cricket and whatever. There's more community opportunity. It's more welcoming, both in terms of who the other people that they welcome, who they invite into the club, and also the hours that you play. So grade cricket is asking you to be an elite player without any of the opportunity to go with it. So what purpose is it serving?
Hey, really interesting.
Sorry, it's wound me up about that.
Yeah. Oh, okay, mate.
Yeah, fucking hell. Okay.
So, scotch and soda, I get it.
Yeah. Give this bloke a scotch. No, but this is against, I tell you, mate, like this is to do with Australia and India because in India, and commenters correct me if I'm wrong, but there are more people playing cricket. The systems to actually capture the players and better players are growing, so there are more opportunities and more teams from which you can be selected from. It's not about getting into a small little, like being observed by one person and getting pushed through. And so it's growing. And in Australia, it's shrinking. You know, they're trying to, like, they're doing the Greg Chappell thing where they pick the talented player when they're 16.
Yeah.
That's and just trying to get as many of them as possible or as few of them as possible, push them through to play for Australia, and everyone else can just enjoy their cricket. And I don't think that that's how Australia is going to continue to produce good players.
4 for 78 after 12.1.
Mooney 44 not.
Our scorecard on screen is slightly behind. It's just caught up now just now. A couple of super chats, Pez. You want to?
Please.
Have you found them?
Yeah. No, you go for it.
Oh, okay. I think there was super chat that I did not answer. Jack the Ripper, rinsing my dead granddad. He has a hairy back. Okay.
What could he be referring to there?
Little throwback there. Little throwback to the good times. Hey, if you're enjoying TGC's live stream, more good stuff from Mooney there to run off the face. Maybe shoot this video a little like, and it'll help to feed it to more people. Obviously, Pez and I have enjoyed doing these during the IPL. We started with our Friday lock-ins during the first stage of the IPL. We're trying to evolve this part of the packaged entertainment that we provide here on YouTube for you guys. If you're new here, feel free to click subscribe. I reckon we'll probably hit 100K during the World Cup, Pez. Get ourselves a little silver plaque. Get that gold jacket like I never got. Yeah. Send in your super chats as well. Ram said, why is cricket losing popularity in Australia? I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure it's losing popularity. I think that's misappropriating what you were saying.
It's not losing popularity.
It's not less people playing. It's the system has changed. They're changing the system.
It is I think it is an important frame. You can't really answer the question of what is the purpose of grade cricket and why is it being hollowed out without looking at the broader societal trends in Australia, which is that in the 70s and 80s and the 90s when, you know, grade cricket was having its golden era, and when you went to any first grade match, there would invariably be like state players and test players, past and present, all through it. And if you wanted to get to the next level, you had to graduate that level.
Yeah.
No way. And that's what made Australian cricket so strong. There was so much competition, you know, and there isn't as much of that now. There aren't as many good players going through. And you have to ask yourself, why is that the case? And part of it must be that back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or whatever, I've included 60s now, I think it's a cliche to say, but like life was a little bit simpler, that there really was like footy in the winter and cricket in the summer.
Undoubtedly,
as far as leisure stuff was concerned, I think that there was far more opportunity. Society was such that like blokes didn't really have responsibility to their families as much. You know,
you could as many pressures.
You could have kids
in a job sense of like you didn't need to go to uni for 5 years and have a massive student debt.
Well, if you did, it was free.
To then get a graduation, try and get a grad job, and then you start working 50 hours a week immediately. And so if you're doing training with grade cricket 2-3 times a week plus Saturdays and Sundays, and if you're an under 21s player, definitely Saturdays and Sundays for basically the entire summer. It's like the interest of it and the appeal of it. And now also they couple that with it being taken away from access to state cricket or representative honours. Why would you do this? Because unless you've been picked up in an academy. And the academy thing is interesting, Pez, because we've seen this with AFL, rugby, and especially football in Europe and the Americas. The academy system is like you basically get scouted from the age of about 7, and they put all this money into academies and they groom you into the best player possible. There isn't like a pathway of like, oh, let's see if they're like 24, 25 and they're doing well in first grade or first division or the championship or whatever. It's Phil Foden. That's the future of like sport. It's like, let's try and get these genetic freaks into like test tubes.
Well, and that's it. That's interesting in relation to cricket, because I think that there's a tendency in Australian sport to like create these elite incubation environments, because people that sort of creates jobs and it looks good and it's good to brand and everyone can wear their kit, and famous people will go to your meetings and stuff. And when you're talking about local community cricket, where in the past the park, the dirty tough drive out in the highway to a western suburbs ground, like that's actually what hardened you to get better.
Yeah.
And to go and the strongest survived, the best went to the top. But now it's like you get into an elite system where you wear a cool tracksuit and you go to like government paid indoor centers with the latest fancy equipment and coaches. But when you got to do that drive out west, that doesn't help you score runs really. There are certain things you miss. You might become a better player technically, like your mate missed out on or whatever. But like, does it teach you how to score runs? And I think that like it's actually helping to cause the production of fewer and fewer players at the top level of Australian cricket who can play. I mean, I think we're starting to already see holes in the men's team. We're just hoping that like Bukowski and Cam Green can come through. There's not as many people knocking on the door. And then they've hollowed out all the levels below, like Shield cricket, so that if you want to get to the top, you score like 400s in a row at Karen Rolton Oval. But that's a road. Like that doesn't really tell you. That tells you something, but not much. I think there's some great systemic issues. Fewer people are playing the game. So the question is right, like what accounts for the diminishing popularity? Well, Netflix is the answer. And Squid Game.
Oh, shot from McGrath. Well, that's going to spin away. Oh, it's powerful. Brother said, what's your favourite associate nation in this World Cup T20, except for Australia, of course?
Good question.
Because Australia's an associate nation. Little joke there.
That's great.
I got a mate that I play with who plays for Papua New Guinea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
He played at Gordon and NDs. Shout out Chad. One of the nicest guys I've ever played with. So I obviously didn't trust that.
And is he? Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Is he playing with them now?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He's in the squad. Yeah.
Oh, beauty.
Yeah.
Get him on the show.
Yeah,
if they make it into the... They've got to make it into the tournament proper.
Yeah.
We're not going to interview associate nation people. Sorry,
yeah. Tim. So I'll be going for Papua New Guinea.
PNG.
Yeah. Oman.
Who else are we looking at?
Netherlands, Oman, PNG, Ireland must be in there. Sri Lanka. Help me out if PNG have got a belting jersey. I
bet.
Really good jersey.
I've always liked Netherlands. Like Tom Cooper played for them.
That's right.
I like. Ireland has got to be there and thereabouts for just international teams. Australia, I think, is scheduled to play a test against Ireland at like Malahide next year or the year after. Now, can you imagine us getting over for that?
Yes, I can.
for that circuit.
Next year, 2022.
Yeah, or the year after.
Mate, it must be lead up for an Ashes.
Sure.
2023, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
How
fuck
good. Imagine that.
Ireland.
Australia versus Ireland in Ireland, test match, and just the people that would be there.
Mate,
and
Dublin,
the
Dublin,
Guinness.
one of the all-time circuits.
Yeah.
Great people. Great scene. Like art scene.
Australians
bar scene.
I mean, it's hard to go past the Irish people.
Yeah, true. Nick Bennett says, come to Dublin. Well, fuck, yeah, that's what we're talking
Love
about.
to do that. So I played indoor cricket with a guy called Dave Langford-Smith who played for Ireland. He was a good first grader.
Yeah.
He's actually extended an invite to us to come and do that. Canada's in it as well.
Is that right?
Well,
No, that's right.
Paulie says that.
I'm going to go ahead and say that's a lie.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to excuse myself from Associate Nation knowledge.
Yeah. Bangladesh, Scotland, Namibia, Papua New Guinea, Ireland, Netherlands, Oman. Yep.
Paulie's sort of stuck in 2003 where John Davison hit the fastest World Cup ton for Ireland,
against the West Indies.
for Canada.
Yeah.
He could whack him too, Davo.
Yeah.
Thanks, Swatheen. Cheers, brother.
He played at Gordon.
And obviously, everyone's always got half an eye on the USA getting good at cricket.
Half an eye? Fuck, mate.
Because you can just see a few sort of New York circuits there.
I'm the chairman of the fucking Cricket USA, whatever that's called.
Oh, you are too.
Mate, Major League Cricket.
Head over to NYC.
Oh, yeah.
Momofuku.
Mate, I reckon... See, like, I suppose you sort of punctuate the tour with your LAs, with your New York. But, mate, what about, like, a circuit in New Orleans? That's a glorious shot from Mooney. That's a 50 as well. That's been sensational. Sensational 50.
She's a class above her own team.
I agree. And somehow underrated in Australian eyes.
From now on this show, she will cease to be underrated if she wasn't before.
Yeah, I imagine like just having a little trip down like the Bible Belt of the States.
Down to Louisiana. I've been in New Orleans.
Have you?
Yeah.
Bourbon Street and all that?
Yeah.
And that?
I saw David Arquette on Bourbon Street.
Of course he did.
Yep.
On the street.
Walking
saw him.
and a lot of people were around him.
So he wasn't performing. He didn't go see David Arquette live.
Mate, New Orleans was one of the great places.
People must be amazing.
It was amazing.
Very hospitable.
Yep.
I actually got mugged there.
When we got out.
Now we're into some stories. Story time with Pez. Here we go.
Flew down from New York to Louisiana. And
Homicide.
got a cab, two mates. I was 25.
Yep.
27. And yeah, it was with two of my best mates, and we got a cab and to wherever we were staying. And as we got out of the cab, we were surrounded by junkies who did attempt to mug us, but they were so incapacitated. It was sort of, well, it was sad, really, but like it was also like, well, you clearly can't operate here.
Yeah,
but
you quite clearly, sir, cannot operate here.
That's how I talk. Yeah.
Shot from McGrath. T-Mac does it again.
That's a great shot. Yeah, the two informed bats here.
Yeah.
Here we go, Australia.
Strong, McGrath.
Come on, Australia.
Strong. Yeah, come on, Australia. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
No, it was sensational. It's not. I've now forgotten. It's the place just off Bourbon Street, the Quarter.
Lachlan's at his dad in Ireland. It's funny.
What's it called?
I had
the French Quarter, of course. Yeah, that's where you want to be. It was great. And then I remember the other side of so there's like Bourbon Street and it surrounds where just like you go and there's all the jazz and all the trumpets and fucking everything is just Circuit City. And the NBA finals were on at that time as well.
Right.
And so we're there in the summer. And then you go like I can't remember, there's like one big road and you go to the other side and then you're into like fucking like Civil War era, like Louisiana. You're seeing like big old like what's that called? Plantation like owner like houses and shit.
Fuck.
Like and like
no way.
Yeah, you're like you're on like the white side basically.
Damn.
So I remember, and it's like everything's like clean and crisp and like fucking Fox News.
Oh shit.
Sorry if you're from Louisiana and that's a horrific description.
Yeah.
But that was my hazy memory of it. On the one side, everyone was partying, and I was probably in a tourist trap. And then on the other side, there was some government slave owner houses.
Yeah.
Great place to visit.
Yeah. Fuck, that's crazy.
Mississippi, dirty as.
Isn't it scary when you see like
See a little riverboat.
like overt instances of racism? Like what I'm talking about, like what's the civil rights flag? Like what's that called? Do you know what I mean? The
Confederates?
The Confederates flag. Yeah, thank you. Like that, or seeing like for some reason like the Eureka Stockade flag down here is like, or like a Southern Cross tattoo. Apologies if you got one. It's just a little symbol of like, fuck, that's just a bit too much. You know what I mean?
The Eureka flag got like appropriated.
It did.
It was workers.
But you know, like, what about like even just seeing like an Australian flag, like especially during like the Cronulla
Australian
riots
flag
and shit.
now.
It's like anytime someone's like waving up, if you've got a flag,
Yeah, they wear it as a cape.
yeah. See people like in lockdown protests and stuff down here. Now, if you are a protester, all the best to you.
Not really.
Not really. I reckon
Fuck
you're
off.
a fucking massive cunt.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. this video
There goes the ads.
This video just got demonetized. Damn it. I'm going to make $4 from this.
Thanks, Ash. Yeah, Frenchman Street. That's it.
Yeah, just like anytime you want to do like just, celebrate your freedom, I'll whack a flag on.
Yeah, that's it.
And then it gets associated with racism.
And it also gets associated with England because there's literally England's flags on our flag. Love that.
A couple of stars, though.
Fuck that Union Jack off, seriously. With respect to England. Nick Bennett.
5-0.
Aaron Pezzle should work his magic and get Paul Sterling here of Irish cricket on the pod. Well, I can tell you that we have asked Paul Sterling onto the podcast and was told through his manager that he was not interested. May have even been explicit. But I think he was absolutely dominating the 100 at the time and possibly had a lot of media requests.
Was he man of the match in the final? I think he was. He scored 50 in the final.
Great shot as well, Moons.
Shot from Moons.
Geez, she's a class above.
Just open the face in that reverse sweep. What's a good score, Pez? 4 overs to go. 4.1 overs to go.
Well, the first thing I'll say is
160?
I don't know what a good score is.
No, of course you wouldn't.
There's a lot I'd have to weigh up there.
Of course you wouldn't.
Yeah, okay. But I reckon about 8 and over is good to go. And I reckon you get there.
Yeah, I feel like 160 is a winning score. It's 4 overs. That's 55.
Fair bit, isn't it?
I mean, it's 12 and over. That's too many.
Yeah.
140 keeps India in the game.
Yeah. And, and there's Mooney's got a fair bit to do here. So
yeah, I think she's got to give the strike. My time McGrath 17 off 17. Well, get the scorecard up here as is the end of the over. Australia 4 for a 105. Our scorecard's slightly behind, just 2 balls behind, but it'll catch up. Yeah, this is a big partnership here because Nicola Carey. I reckon Georgia Warren might come in next.
Yeah, right. Because she gives it a whack.
Yeah, gives it a whack.
Interesting. So 8 and over takes to 137. I don't know. Can anyone tell me out there how's the wicket playing? Because we obviously can't hear the commentary. I mean, it looks slow. I don't know if they're using the same wicket as the one last night or the other day.
Harmanpreet Kaur's going to bowl again. She first over went for 14. She's got 3 left in the bank, of course. You'd think Pandy would bowl probably both of hers. Gaikwad, yeah. Those are the options.
I mean, Australia would love to get to 150 here, wouldn't they? 12 and over.
Yeah, 12 and over 150, it's a good score. Feels like a good score.
Feels like a good score. I've got Dr. Zayas in my head. I hate every ape I see.
Will Pezzy change his name to Sam Pezos after reaching 100k subs? Is that a relation to Bezos? Shot from McGrath.
Great shot.
Thumped it down the ground. She's strong, T-Mac.
Yeah. Will I do that?
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of Jeff Bezos.
Just billionaire stuff?
This is potentially unwise, but that's the nature of the show. From time to time, we have invitations from an ad agency to place ads on our podcast, and there was an invitation to put our names forward for an Amazon ad or whatever, and we from time to time we'll just say yes, and it comes or it doesn't.
Oh, we'll say yes to anything.
Yeah,
Benson and Hedges,
really.
Amazon.
But on this occasion, it came with a caveat.
Yeah.
Of You can't say yes if you've ever said anything disparaging about Amazon or Jeff Bezos.
What? I don't remember that.
You didn't receive it because you don't process those invitations.
Oh, okay.
But
I haven't processed that.
So I thought I did.
If you've ever said anything disparaging,
yeah, and I was like, oh, I mean, we have now, but
yeah, fuck.
at the time I hadn't.
As soon as I got the email,
Yeah.
fuck's this shit.
But I thought that was funny. Like, I was obviously part of the brief from Amazon. I was like, I'll place these ads. But it was like, if anyone's ever said anything bad about Bezos, no. I'm like, fuck, okay.
Feels a bit.
How you going?
That feels a bit how you going.
That's how I replied. That's a bit how you going to Amazon.com.
Feels a bit Squid Game.
Info@Amazon.com. Right back.
Reply all.
Yeah. Urge attention, Jeff Bezos.
JB.
I've got a question here. This is an IPL question from Ayush Pandey.
Please.
Will Smith get a call against CSK? I presume that's will Steve Smith get a call up?
Will Smith. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
Will Smith. What?
That's right.
Will Smith get a call against CSK?
So will he play? I mean, he seems to have played about 50% of the games for Delhi. There's by no means a mainstay of that side. But I did note the other day that Ricky Ponting says Steve Smith's batting better than he's ever seen him in his life, and then subsequently didn't pick him in the next game, which I could only, I could only interpret that as meaning, well, he's just alphaing Steve Smith, or
I think he was like,
or Rishabh's batting really well.
He was basically talking in the context of like, nah, Australia's like probably going to win the World Cup. We've got the best team.
He does that.
But also at the same time, the wickets here are already shit, and that's a bit of a concern, especially as we couldn't bat in Bangladesh. That was actually a funny over from Pooja. It was like 4.4. 8 off the over in the end. 4 swings and misses in between. No,
I guess you take 8 off.
Yeah, you take 8 off. I would take that. Sorry, replay. First time watching cricket. Yeah, I would find it funny if Australia. I haven't seen the schedule in terms of where Australia's playing. I've seen the games, but like, it would be funny if Australia play at Sharjah because there's absolutely no chance of us doing well at Sharjah if the wicket stays the same as what it has been in the UAE the past couple of weeks.
Has Maxwell got runs there though? I feel like we might be able to bat a bat again on slow wickets, but I don't.
Maxwell has scored runs. Man, Maxwell's been sensational in the second phase. He had a good first phase as well.
Why do I feel like he won't be able to reproduce that for his country?
But I somehow feel like Warner's going to be okay for the opening the batting for Australia.
What do you base it on? Him in that jersey?
I base it on there's obviously something behind the scenes going really awry there at Sunrisers. And so almost like discredit all of his scores. I mean, he also is averaging like, at one point in the tournament when he got his second 50, he was averaging 32. So it wasn't like diabolical. But then
it was a strike rate though.
It was the strike rate was the issue. But then, I don't know, I still feel like he'll be okay. But then saying that, that's a great shot. That's a great shot.
Right at the gap. Jeez, she is in complete control of her game, Beth Mooney.
First ball, the over. Going for 4, crucial. She's so still when she hits that ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, great base.
Chimpanzee. Yeah, stick with that. Warner. So Warner's got to play in the first game against South Africa. You got Norkia and Rabada coming in. You got Shamsi. You got whoever.
Actually, now I think about that. Yeah, he looked bad against like pace, like when the ball's at him, sort of like hip to nipple height, like just there. I mean, who the fuck's good there? But like, that's where that bowl at him. He got himself in a bit of tangle around there, didn't he?
Yeah, I just think it's a bit of a watching brief on Warner.
There is. There's Finch as well. Like, where does Maxwell bat? Where do you bat Maxwell for? I mean,
where you bat him
that's a good catch.
It's a good catch.
Carry? Look good to me.
I think that could be important in the match. That catch.
Yeah, that was a really sharp catch.
If it carried, I would go to Glenn Maxwell and ask him where he'd like to bat, and then just build the team around that.
Why do I feel like as soon as he goes into that environment, he'll be like, this sucks?
The reason you feel that is because there's a big weight of evidence to suggest that...
like his entire career, just about?
That when he goes into Australian setups that he's, as Shane Watson suggested, not really welcome to be himself and is crowbarred into things that other people want him and the team to be.
Fuck, we're dumb. We're fucking dumb here.
Yeah.
Mate, I would like to get another replay on that catch because that looked like a fucking really good catch. You know, diving forward where even when you're diving forward, your hands still come out at a natural level. I feel like Harmanpreet Kaur, they're extended beyond that, and then it's kind of scary because you're not like bracing your elbows or anything against the ground, and like just to get your, like the proportion of like your eyes to where the ball is, like when you extend out like that. I feel like it was like that, but I want to see another replay. Good catch is what I'm trying to say.
No, you'll never make a monkey.
Adam Cole said, "Will Damandeep ever come back? If not, we right." Yeah, well,
He said he'll come back.
he said he'll come back.
I'm sure he'll be back. There's been a lot of talk about Fury versus Wilder. The boxing bout.
I didn't see it. I've not watched it. That's not what
Fury won.
Yes,
And they belted each other.
Yeah,
apparently it's very good.
Fury's gone into like being the best in this generation.
Right.
The heavyweight. It was a significant fight, but I'm not a massive boxing guy, so I can't really tell you.
Moral issues?
Yeah. Horse racing,
Yeah.
get right behind that.
Yeah.
Smoke a pack a day. That's got nothing to do with anything.
I just like doing that. What's your favourite cigarette?
People do have favourite cigarettes, don't they?
Oh, I feel sick talking about it.
Yeah. When you see someone like on a crisp winter's morning smoking in their car, that makes me feel ill.
All right.
I don't. Yeah.
Because that makes you feel happy.
Makes me really happy because they're happy. I really like that.
I got a friend who works at Philip Morris.
No way.
Way. And was telling me about the new technology they've got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
Few years ago.
Can you share that?
Oh, I believe it. I believe it's something to do with vaping, you know.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Good if
Like,
you-
oh, that's good. Yeah, good if you can get it.
Good
I
if
just
you
bought a
can get it.
house.
Got a lot of invitation. A lot of people saying we should invite people into the show. Yeah, some of those are better. No, that's another club. That's
great
a
show.
great. There's the first 60 innings. McGrath.
Clubbed it. We'd be clubbing.
Big over this one.
She
now,
with
Pez.
you when you went clubbing?
11 off. Yeah, yeah. Me and T-Mac went clubbing.
Vis-a-vis guests, that's the next step with this. So we've got a new graphic set up. Many who've seen our other streams will know that we've had guests on before, but the next step with us is to get guests on this with the new graphic setup. It just requires a little bit of technical tinkering, but that is the plan as we develop this going forward.
Sorry.
You okay? Get a smoke.
It's a pack a day.
Would you do a semi-nude ad for Manscaped? Oh,
Probably not, eh? Oh, shot. She's played that shot a couple of times in this series. Like, really went right all the way to off stump and then swept it over square. Done that a few
Commanding.
times. Big over this one now, Pez. 15 off.
okay.
Okay.
They need to get her out.
Tub then a club. I like that.
Tubbin' and Clubbin', name of the third book.
Swatting, you're right. Smoking does kill.
Hardik Vyas, we need Akhtar on TGC soon. Not a bad shout. I might throw a little.
Not a bad shout.
I just go on.
Maybe T20 World Cup.
Yeah, T20 World Cup. Also, I feel like thinking about his Twitter account, he's got representation in his
Oh, yeah.
in his bio.
Contact to the manager there.
Yeah.
Last ball, the over, Pez. Big ball. Yeah, good shot. Just get the one. Just get the
See if I
one.
can find that one. I feel like there's a little rep.
Someone asked earlier, sorry, I apologize, I forget your name. I forget your name. I didn't see your name. Asking how we thought the
Here we go.
Pakistan would go for the T20 World Cup. And I think the most exciting part about that is that Pakistan don't know how they're going to go because they haven't played any games. No one wants to play them. No one goes there anymore.
I think they're going to go well.
I think they'll be okay.
More than I think they'll be Final Four, Pakistan.
Who do you want to win if Australia can't win? You obviously want Australia to win. Obviously.
Yes, definitely.
I don't want a train wreck, which would be good for views.
I know. I'd love them to consolidate their current team environment
Yeah.
via a World Cup win.
Yeah. It'd be consistently good as it always has been the last few years.
Who do I want to win? Well, I've got to be careful what I say here. Who do I want to win? You know, like
Anyone in the tournament, anyone who's in the tournament can win.
I'm
Who would you want to win?
It would be, and I know a lot of people will find this difficult to take, but given the way they have been treated, it would be sensational for Pakistan to stick it up.
Yeah.
England and we expect down the track Australia. Well, I guess you can't say that because they haven't said they're not going yet.
Yeah.
But I think that would be great because a lot of the behaviour towards them, particularly from England, has set that country back in terms of cricket. I know there are opposing arguments to that, and I think many of them are valid and it's complex. But just for the cricket and for the cricketers, that would be cool. In terms of teams, I mean, India's got a very cool team. Because we've been doing the IPL so much. When you think about now bringing that side into a T20 context, we've never really covered them in T20 context before.
No.
So thinking about what they can do with that side is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just
Mate,
so many options.
I feel the same way as just following England as we have for the last 2 years now, especially.
Thanks for the Shoaib idea because he's got a business manager I can write to. So yes,
and he played great cricket.
His business manager did 3s at Hawkesbury.
Oh, that was junk.
And run out. Oh, is that hit her? No, it's hit.
Yeah, it's cool.
Hit her leg.
Oh, fucking hell! Inside knee.
Yeah,
grim.
And that wasn't an in swinger. That seemed in.
She's gone down easily there, so I felt contact. She went to ground.
She did it with a slow ball though. As much as a chunk. She deceived the bat.
Direct hit. See you later. Oh, it's just back on these. Should be okay.
Oh, I think it was fleshy rather than bone though, which you'd prefer.
Yeah. So the strong part of the calf.
Yeah.
Sean O'Connor said, hat backwards. Did you score runs today to earn that?
Forget that pump. I was interested in what you were saying about T20 stuff, the Indians.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's actually cool to know what you're talking about and appreciate how good they are. And it's interesting but they've always got good teams and they just you'd think that they would more or less win or be favourites every tournament. Now India are favourites for this tournament, but they've got a bit of a history where big tournaments, big moments. Like 2019 World Cup getting knocked out by New Zealand. No, New Zealand had a good one-day team for sure, but you look at the lineups, you think, well, India should have won that World Cup. It was a missed opportunity for England, for India, sorry.
And these decks as well, you can still make a few changes to these squads. All of these, the Harshal Patel style bowlers are really succeeding, and I know there's been some calls that they should make some changes to bring guys like him in.
I don't know if that'd be wise.
He's top wicket taker in the IPL.
Yeah. Tell you who's disappointed this tournament is Bhuvi Kumar for Sunrisers.
Yeah.
I mean, he's statistically one of India's best white ball bowlers, especially in T20. Oh, shot.
You know, I learned today
Great shot from McGrath.
via the Wisdom podcast, and it's a good podcast, is that
good score here, Pez.
England only have 2 players in their squad who are under 30.
In their T20 squad?
Yeah. Livingston and
Interesting.
some other coat.
Spinner? No.
They're it's sort of like a last hurrah for these guys a little bit. It'll probably break up.
Interesting.
It might be George Garton actually who's opening the bowling for
RCB.
For RCB. Apart from that, they're all kind of seasoned campaigners. And I know
I appreciate that. So it's been a golden era for them.
It is, and it's sort of it's like the last hurrah for all of them.
I mean, fuck, you look at
not all of them.
England's
but as a team.
England's white ball cricket for 10 years is too many.
Yeah, since
the previous World Cup.
Yeah,
2015
World Cup.
Yeah, since then they have just got sensational cricketers, such good cricketers.
They've got until today to change their squads. There's an article here about potentially changing squads.
Yeah, okay.
Like India changing their squad. So because they left Chahala and Takur.
Boys, can you please call women cricketers on your podcast? We've had several on our show.
Yeah, we've had heaps.
We've had several.
We'll go through them.
I think Elise Berry's been on twice. Meg Lanning, Annabelle Sutherland.
Elisa Healy.
Belinda twice.
Clark.
Belinda Clark.
We've had Mel McLaughlin on the show. She's not a cricketer. And then
Cricket
there's journalists.
broadcaster.
We've had Mel Farrell on a few times. We've had Izzy Westbury on a few times.
Yeah, there's lots. But yeah, we can always get more.
Did Shreyas Iyer not make it?
Really?
Shreyas Iyer should be in that side. Shouldn't really be asking that question, should I? I'm going to get smashed.
I honestly have not looked at squads. I don't know if I can name this. No, I could just about name the Australian squad.
Yeah, Shreyas isn't in the squad. Pretty good squad otherwise.
Who have you got? Read them out for me.
Kohli, Sharma, Ashwin, Bumrah, Chahar, Chakravarthi, Jadeja, Ishan Kishan, Bhuvi Kumar, Rishabh, Axar, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya, Shami, and Sky.
No Ashwin.
Yeah, Ashwin's
there, sorry.
Yep. But yeah, who are we missing there?
It's interesting there, isn't it? Just if the UAE wickets are consistent with how they've been this part, sort of missing that seems to be missing like a fucking 135 seam upper, which has done really well in the IPL in this stanza. You know what I mean? They're not missing much.
That to you, Avesh Khan, Harshal Patel, someone who can do that job.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, and they're a bit worried about Hardik Pandya's bowling at the moment. I think he's massive for that whole side.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I mean, look, Jadeja, Chakravarthi, God damn it.
Ishan Kishan is, he had a fucking blinder the other night, 80 off 30 or something like that. But he struggled the first part of the tournament. He's done well to get ahead of Shreyas.
Well, yeah, so you're right about seam ups though. I mean, it's Bumrah, Shami, Bhuvi Kumar, Hardik, Pandya.
Wild.
That's it for seam ups, and then the rest is just spin city. So that's a deck thing.
Yeah.
Whereas England squad, who's be the next sort of most favourite to win.
Last ball innings coming up here, by the way. Australia 5-147.
147. Okay, so they've only got to 150.
Shreyas reserve. Oh, well bowled.
That is well bowled. So
squeeze out 150 to win.
Well, they need to go.
Oh, direct hit.
Got there. Is it direct hit? I thought she might have done that with her hands.
Oh, that's quite an allegation, Pez.
You reckon that's direct?
I
reckon she went with her hands.
I thought it was direct hit.
I reckon she's hit it with her hands, then the balls hit the stumps. And if that's true, then they will have made 149 and India need 150 to win.
Yeah, I like a nice clean 150. 7.5 and over.
As far as spinners go, England have Rashid, Moeen Ali. That's it.
Her hands have hit it, but were her hands touching the ball at the same time? Do you have to be in possession? I think she's going to be safe there, mate. Her hands have... How does it work? Do you have to be in control of the ball?
Yeah, surely.
Dislodging
surely you have to be holding the ball. That is not going to help, surely, that angle.
She's knocked the bails off before the ball gets there. Yeah. So it's going to be safe, 150 to win.
Yeah, so England's got two spinners only, Moeen and Adil Rashid. I mean, both will play. And then it's just seam up city. Chris Jordan, Tom Curran, Timor Mills, David Willey, Chris Wokes, Mark Wood.
Tell you who's going to be good? West Indies.
Yep, agree.
They're going to be a good team.
Agree.
The Rhine, batters for days.
Yep.
Who'd the seam options be? Dre Russ. Bowling's not amazing. AB de Villiers nor Faf are in the South African team. Faf wasn't called up. He's available, I think.
No good. That's going to hurt him. That's got to hurt him. You excited about the T20 World Cup?
I am, actually. Yeah. I actually am. It feels like... I've said this before, but I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this second part of the second phase of the IPL has been fucking pump. It's been tough watch. It's been like some grim games, a lot of like 130s. The last couple of games at the end have been like amazing shit's happened. But that's going to happen, I suppose, when you get like the best players in the world playing in the tournament. But it to me, it's felt really... I haven't felt connected to it. It's been a little bit distant for me. There's no fans in the stadiums. You don't get the same connection with like the cities and the nature of the wickets and stuff. The wickets themselves in the UAE have been odd. Odd in the sense that I don't think... Well, even Watto on Watto's rap one of the times was saying like each wicket is quite unique and they generally provide good cricket, but that has not been the case. And so, like, just watching it, it feels really confected, ram it in. And so I haven't really enjoyed this second phase of the IPL that much. The first part of the IPL, I was right into it. I thought it was awesome.
Yep.
Especially someone who's, like, watched it for the first time.
Yep.
So I was loving that. Second part, not for me. And so I feel like once you get like a major international tournament, you can't not care about it when there's so much context to all the other. There's context to every games, and there's funny scenarios tossed up when nations are playing against each other. So like Australia and England will play each other on a Sunday night, for instance, as India, Pakistan, even Australia against South Africa, which, as you said rightly before, South Africa for Australia is Shelbyville. And there's all this context and then like all the connotations, and that's one thing the IPL I think has been missing. All the squad changes, like the England guys not playing the second part of the IPL, like Joss Butler, for instance. So the second part of the IPL has just missed all this context for me. It just feels like, let's get these games out of the way. Let's complete them. Whereas
I think there's going to be a massive reboot next year. I mean, I was reading that like they're expecting a big breakup of the Mumbai Indians, who have been the best T20 side in the world domestically. CSK are very old.
Yes.
And although Dhoni will play for another 5 years minimum.
Of course. Sorry.
They're expecting huge changes to sides in the wake of the mega auction.
Yeah.
And so I wonder, in the wake of the mega auction, a revamp of a lot of sides, bringing the IPL back to India, presumably with crowds next year.
Yeah.
That like next year is going to be huge. Though it's funny, the great variable on it is crowds. It doesn't matter where it is or what sport it is.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to cricket in India, which I think for a sport and a country, there's no greater passion between those two things, but across the world. But in fact, it actually makes it more obvious when people aren't at grounds, something's missing. It's very difficult to get immersed and feel connected to something when you can't see passionate people in the stadiums. And I can't wait to cover the IPL where that's the case. I mean, we've started and got into it when it's been on its knees.
And it legitimately was awesome. I'm not sure I've only seen highlights of it before, but now watching like full games of it this year is like, oh, this actually is fucking really good.
Yeah.
But mate, I know totally mean, like when the Premier League was playing last year, the end of the Champions League, the NBA in like empty gyms, it was like, oh, this is fucking odd, really odd.
Yep.
You get some sort of like consumer confidence by seeing other people care about it, like seeing packed grounds, but that makes you appreciate how much the sport is connected to people caring about it, which actually is also, I think, in a lot of ways related to this Saudi takeover of Newcastle. But mate, what do you want to do here, Pez? It's the innings break.
Oh, I think we should have a spell. That didn't occur to me. Someone also just said in there, right, that Narayan's not in the West Indies squad.
What the fuck? Okay. Well, I made a mistake there. All right. We're gonna take a 5-minute break here. There's actually more people watching now than there has been the entire night. But if you want to stick with us, we'll be back in 10 minutes' time and resume for India's chase. If you're enjoying this video, please do shoot it a like, so more people get to see it and it gets fed into their algorithm. As you know how the internet works. We'll be following up in about 10 minutes' time to see India attempt to chase 150 cricket runs. We'll see you in a bit.
Chimpanzee.
Oh, hey there. Sorry, we were just having a little joke off air.
I will say this, he goes. Vlamic
No, don't.
is...
Don't say that.
Okay.
Okay, if you have to say it.
Vlamic is significantly quicker than anybody else bowling.
I can't believe you said it. Yeah, man, she's wheels. 124. That's sharp. That's sharp. What's your favourite sponsorship across a sports jersey?
Fucking great question.
Because I said sharp then, and I just thought about Man United in the 90s.
Yeah.
Early Beckham.
You paying that? Are you paying it?
Yeah, I'll pay it. For me, like...
I really want to think about that.
I have an affinity with... So I'll just stick with... football.
Premier League, yeah.
I've got an affinity with Carlsberg for Liverpool.
Right.
Just looks good. The 3 stripes of Adidas, like... I like that. I just
you don't really equate that with much success. Liverpool levels of success. Istanbul was,
but
that Liverpool era was generally like
for the most part of my Liverpool supporting life, Liverpool have been shit.
And they've worn Carlsberg throughout that time.
Yeah, but it's still I don't know what. I don't know why I like it then.
Yeah.
I'll take your point.
Oh, no, I'm not saying, like, you have to have been good.
Yeah.
During that time.
But usually you associate, like, good jerseys with the team winning. Yeah. The reason I was thinking about this, Ash Gardner, the ball in the second over, that's interesting. And throws it down leg side, take her off, that's fucking junk. Yuck.
Well, and also start looking into whether has anyone got any money on that one?
Did you see Taylor Vlamic's no ball in the first T20?
No.
She bowled the first ball, it was like about 3 meters over the line. It was like Muhammad Amir levels, allegedly.
That's a good one here. Newcastle Brown Ale. Yeah,
distinct. Yeah. So Newcastle was the reason that I thought about that because I was thinking about the Wonga sponsorship and I hadn't realised that there was such big uproar about. Do you know about the Wonga?
I read today that
the phone company. So they do like these. Sorry.
Catch it gone as a wicket.
Oh, that's huge.
That's what she was bowling
Shafali Verma.
She's embarrassed.
Oh my god, that's one of those
that was
ones
meant to be
apologise.
a wide where you make money from it. That's why she's embarrassed.
Just accused people of match fixing now. Yeah, there's 20 grand down leg side. Oh, don't hit it. Oh, especially not there.
Hell. Oh, no, now I got a wicket.
Oh,
meant to be to her.
Oh.
Well, India won for 3. I tell you what, that lead's looking like 11-5.
Horse's head tomorrow morning. In the bed.
Horse's head in the bed.
Horse's head in the bed. Yeah, Wonga was a phone company, and the type of contracts they used basically gave casual workers 0 rights, and it was a huge problem in the UK. And Wonga was the biggest exponent of those types of contracts. And so obviously people in Newcastle, a lot of those people working class, etc., etc.
Hoonsy's written Verma, get in the bin. I mean, it's not appropriate. Barclays Premier League. No, thanks.
Barclays Premier League.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just trying to think about like AIG United. Yeah, I mean.
No. Sharp. It's Sharp and Sharp then a great distance. I think from a United perspective. Then they had Vodafone, so I don't even think Vodafone was great. Like it was United were like Galacticos at that time.
Yeah, that's true.
But it wasn't. The jersey wasn't as good as what had come before. Like in the 90s, that was the 2000s thing. AIG, no, it was not. AIG was like so when you had Sharp. Like Sharp is a well-known brand and like gives you TVs and electronics that make you happy. You know, like Vodafone a bit less so, but still a phone. Then you go to AIG, that's when the Glazers took over.
Yeah,
and that was their group, American Insurance Group. So, no on that front. But even worse, the Chevrolet was disgraceful.
Yuck.
Especially just the color that I put on the jersey. It made the jersey yellow.
Yeah.
I
got to say, like,
and now it's fucking TeamViewer or some dumb shit.
Newcastle Brown Ale, like that was Shearer days.
Yeah, that was good.
That's a good kit. That's a really good kit.
I like
cricket jerseys.
I like Arsenal with JVC. I like the JVC on Arsenal.
Yeah.
To be fair to them.
Yes, and let's be fair. I don't mind Chelsea with the Samsung.
Yeah, it's nice symmetry.
Nice symmetry.
Nice symmetry.
I I'm just saying that cricket one's like, oh, yeah, Ben, Chelsea Samsung. Yeah. Sorry, Ben, I didn't see yours. Or did I? Did I just steal your...
KFC Big Bash.
Put a bucket on my head.
Dreamcast Arsenal. Yeah, not bad. O2 Arsenal. Yeah. Your Flamers, no. Thoughts on the D's? Great win. Great win, Dave.
Tell you what, walking around my neck of the woods, there's still D's fucking kit everywhere. Just balloons, banners, cars, whatever you like. Effigies.
What about those jerseys that have like 888 bet on them or something like that?
Fucking hell. Now, you know me, Pez. I love to punt and I love to smoke at the punt shop on Punt Road.
Rishab.
Yeah. Asian Century sponsorship. Fucking hell.
I'm gonna look this up for. I like this jersey sponsor chat because I want to get it right.
Yeah. Pura Cup, yeah, that does.
AC Milan and Opel, yeah. That's nice.
That was good. They seem to be all football related.
Fiorentina and Nintendo.
Fuck yes, that's a great shout. Now Fiorentina, if you want to have like
Liverpool
retro
Carlsberg's
kits,
in there, that's good.
That's great shout.
It's kind of like it goes beyond sort of it's about like iconography and the symmetry.
Iconography,
but it is memory. Like it's got to have produced memories for you.
Bayern Munich T-Mobile.
So I disagree about United and Vodafone above Sharp.
Yeah.
Inter Milan and Pirelli.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
Yeah, that's good. Napoli and Mars, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
West Ham, Dr. Martens.
That's good.
Yeah, respect that.
Not bad.
Respect that.
Oh, that's not.
Oh,
That's
Bolton
clean
and
too.
Reebok.
Bolton and Reebok,
Yeah.
that's clean.
That was like JJ Koch's time.
Tottenham Holston is clean.
That's like Lineker.
Yep. I'm not sure about
No,
that. Oh, that's nice. Boca and
Boca.
Quilmes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boca Junior's good kit.
Yeah, really good
Like
kit.
football and NBA does good kit.
Yeah.
I feel like cricket in Australia especially, I feel like England and India have done really good kits.
Yep.
I want more from the Kiwis.
India's
I want better from Kiwis, even though they struggle
India's
with black and
dark
white.
kit is good.
Yeah, the kit they're wearing tonight looks really good.
Yeah, I like that.
Australia's kit for mine in the last
bin.
2 efforts,
Mate.
abysmal. Worst in my lifetime.
Mate, $2 only shop.
West Indies can do better too. West Indies can do better. I think West Indies got the most to play with in terms of like the colour, the maroon and the red.
Yep.
You can tinker with that more.
Yep.
Yeah,
And the iconography of the of the Windies and what they
Windies.
represent.
Exactly.
The maroon.
A couple of years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, England were playing against West Indies in England, and the West Indies kit then they just had like the hue of the red on the trim of their test jumpers and the caps. It was leaning into like a lighter red, not pink, but a lighter. And I was like, it looked really good.
No point talking about like Australian ones, is there?
Nah, it's got like. I suppose you get into like NRL territory.
It's NRL, it's league stuff. I mean, I've got a lot of opinions about it, but Sri Lanka and Dilmati, that's nice.
That's good.
Yeah, okay.
Pay that.
Yep. Or pay it. Yeah, see Canberra Raiders milk, I mean, it's going to kick me off with that. Balmain Tigers Phillips, I mean.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Balmain, yeah. Siren and News.
Yeah.
Benny Elias.
Yeah, that's it. That's the stuff.
You reckon the audience knows about that?
What do you guys reckon about Ciro?
What about the 89 grand final?
Yeah, that's right. You reckon they just struggled after Junior left?
Mark Waugh. Oh, yeah. Arsenal JVC. Liverpool Crown Paints. Yeah, that's fucking good one. That's like Dalglish areas. I know he's after that. It's like John Barnes.
Marsh Sheffield Shield.
Yeah. What's the...
And ACO TGC. Thanks for bringing us that video. This video.
What's the Matador barbecues?
Yeah.
It was called the Matador Cup.
The Matador Cup.
Matador Cup.
My era was Mercantile Mutual Cup.
Mercantile Mutual, yeah.
At the time, that's what I thought it was. Like, I didn't know that it was a
company,
fucking insurance company.
Yeah, who then rebranded to ING.
Yeah, we insure you. So what you do is you engage in a game of risk. You pay us consistently, and we pay you if something bad happens. But you've got
under very small parameters.
At small parameters, and you've got to actually often pay an excess to access money that then makes it
act of God, I reckon.
Mercantile Mutual Cup, but then like at the time, if you were like 30 and they were called Mercantile Mutual Cup, you're like, what the fuck's this? It was also Ryobi Cup. for a while.
If the Gabba Test match was insured, I don't know if that'd be a payout. The parameters, nah, wouldn't get away with
Australia
that.
losing.
Yeah, Australia losing.
Yeah.
No payout.
When Australia went to Alinta Energy, I was disappointed because I think that Australia should be aligned with a brand that means something.
Yeah.
You know?
Like what?
That's how...
Benson Hedges.
No. Well, that's more... it's
Gina
more,
Reinhardt's, fracking companies.
when Australia goes overseas, they have Qantas.
That makes me feel good. That makes me feel
fucking
good.
safe as.
So at 2019 Ashes, Cummins bowling Joe Root.
With Qantas on
day
his...
4.
Yeah.
Second last over or whatever the fuck. We're in Qantas.
Whatever the fuck.
Fly me home, baby.
Yeah.
Fly me to the fucking moon.
Yeah. It was really jarring in the...
Via Sydney.
Exactly. Business class.
Oh, yeah. BC.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get those jammies on. Get me jammies on.
When in the late 90s,
I wear
Australia...
those for domestic flights now.
Mm-hmm.
I get changed from Sydney to Melbourne, 45-minute flight.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys who gets on a flight, and before I get on the flight, I go to the Qantas lounge, and then I check in from the lounge and take a photo of my ticket with
That's
my
right.
passport placed on my ticket, just so...
And then just a beer next to it.
The beer next to it that's, not fully drunk yet or whatever, but just enough of the interior of the lounge to let you know that I'm in the lounge.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
That's the sort of thing I do, because I just want you to know that I'm going overseas. I don't want you to know anything else about me.
I actually won't be happy unless this gets 17 likes on Instagram.
I go to the Qantas lounge.
Budgiesmuggler.com. Slow old start here from India. 1 for 11 off full. Let's have a look at the scorecard here. Ash Gardner taking... Vlamic's gone for the third over here. Just quickly get up the...
They did this last night as well.
That's Punjab once again. Full bunger. That's a good shot. Great shot. Vlamic ruined figures. 2.1, 8 off.
They still have the old railway sleeper, the Indian women, don't they?
Mate.
They just got big bats.
Smriti Mandana just reminds me of Ganguly so much. It's the same brand of batters.
Beautiful swing.
Did Ganguly have a hero Honda? Is that right? I'm pretty certain that's right. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong.
Tell you, yeah.
Oh, someone said Feeler Australia. Good old days.
Yeah, that was pretty good for a while. Feeler it wasn't a natural alignment with Australian cricket.
I always had it with tennis, like Philippoussis.
Yes, that's much better. Sampras and Prince.
Fuck yeah. Now I'm into it.
Now we're talking.
Finally.
Before we were not talking.
Absolutely. No.
In the entire history of the grade cricketer.
But then one day Pez said Sampras and Prince, and I thought, now we're talking.
The fucking chemistry, the brain chemistry's ticking off now.
The age of century's begun and we're talking.
It's like the reverse of someone saying, what about you get to a relationship, you just run out of things to talk about. So I'm just like, done.
We've spoken about everything.
That's it.
When are we going to get to that point? We've spoken about a lot of things.
We just rehash things. It helps me.
Yeah. Is it when Harry met Sally, when they're talking about you got to be comfortable with the silences? You got to find someone you...
I don't know. I've got ADD. I don't watch movies. That's not true. I love movies.
Can they turn that into a TikTok? Yeah. A short one. I don't want a full minute.
They've got to do minis.
Yeah. Oh, what a shot that is.
That's a great shot.
I can lean back and
Smriti.
goes bang. Smriti.
Minis of movies.
Minis. Do you watch it? I caught the mini.
Yeah.
Fucking new Bond movie.
Exactly.
No time to fucking watch it.
What do you think of Schindler's List? I caught the mini.
It was in black and white. It's just a bit how you going.
Mate, I'm Schindler's. Someone says Vlamic looks like Sean Tate. Can't see it.
That's a big no from me. Spraying me in the third over.
Spraying, yeah.
Yeah, Meg Laney's given a one too many because this over has now gone for 8, 9, and that's the most cricket runs ever off any over in the history of the game.
Not out.
Yeah.
I exclusively watch movies through the Movie Clips YouTube channel.
MRF and Sachin. I've said this before.
Yeah.
MRF can get in the bin for me.
Wow.
Not for me.
I feel like it's a big call to say to Indians.
No, well, because like Virat's were there, AB de Villiers were there. But it's just, I don't align that with a proper cricket company.
And like that's because I think MRF was the first example of like in our lifetime of the idea of branding cricket equipment when you weren't a cricket equipment company.
That's right.
So like for us, we grew up in this like really safe era of like Ian Healy Kookaburra gloves, like Mark wore Slazenger, like V100. Steve wore GM. Ricky Ponting Kookaburra.
Matthew Hayden
Grey Nicks. Michael Slater Grey Nicks. To a lesser extent, Merv Hughes County.
Shane Warne was with County for a bit.
He was, and he went to GM. Is that right? I know he was GM at some point. Warney.
That's a great shot again.
Fucking hell, Smritty.
Dropped the railway sleeper on it. Oh, she's a really good player,
isn't she? Okay, let's have a look at that. Boom. Back
again. So still, it's the base.
Yeah, and then in the 2000s, Steve Waugh had an MRF bat.
Yep.
And that shook me up.
Same era that Sachin started to have it. And then AB de Villiers after that. And Brian Lara. They targeted literally the best bats in each country.
And I was like, what's this?
Yeah, what's this?
It's, and all the while we're like, no, but you've got to be with an Australian company. You look at all those companies I was mentioned, none of them are, apart from Kookaburra, I think. And
yeah.
And then, my innocence was lost.
Yeah.
My innocence was lost.
Saying that, Tendulkar's best innings. Remember when Tendulkar was done? Everyone was like, nah, he's at the end. Then he moved to 5 or some shit. And he's like, oh no, he's still the best player ever.
Mate, so I'll just be clear. Yeah. Sachin's the best for me.
Oh yeah?
Sachin's the best. He's the player that dominated and looked the best against the best Australian team.
You know what? I've not thought about it, but I think you're right. Because I think the only other contender...
Sachin was God.
Because I don't know if it can be Australian. Like, I don't know if it can be Ponting. Because Ponting is my favourite player, right?
Yes.
But I don't know if it can be because he never got to play against...
Australia.
Right.
For me, like, Sachin is a little God level above Ponting.
So the other one for me would be Lara.
Yeah.
Bingle.
Yes.
And what she did to Michael Clarke
as a model
in the relationship and for Australian tourism at the time. So it's either Sachin Tendulkar or Lara Bingle.
Bingle, yeah.
For me. No, Brian Lara would be the other one.
See, for me, Brian Lara, I mean, firstly, all great. All great.
They're all good.
Lara's like, it's like sex, best friend, wife.
Yeah.
And Lara's sex.
Lara's sex. You know what?
Straight away.
Before I even started, I was thinking like, no, Lara was sex. It's really weird that we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Lara was sex, and that's the best compliment I can give him.
Lara, when Lara got runs, it was the best sex of your life.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Depending on the sort of sex you like.
But Tendulkar would set you up financially. You'd be safe, great family, the genes were good.
Oh, it's still beautiful.
Yeah, still beautiful. And the sex was more lovemaking. It was passionate. It was pure, a lot of eye contact.
It was heavenly.
It was yeah.
Sachin Tendulkar played from like fucking 1989 to like what? 2014.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? What the Test cricket?
89.
Yeah, 25 years.
1989. Fucking
fucking Arsenal JVC.
Who's rolling around in 1989?
Fucking Tony Adams playing centre half for Arsenal.
Exactly.
Sachin's batting 3 or some shit.
It was almost the length of fucking Sir Alex Ferguson's reign, like as an like an old man.
Didn't win as much.
Yeah, Sachin's God for me.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. Scored runs in all the big moments, all the big times. Scored them everywhere. Runs in England, runs in Australia, obviously runs at home.
Kerry O'Keefe was sponsored by Benson and Hedges.
I think Doug Walters might have been.
It's Dom Sibley for me, boys. When Sam and Sampras and Prince U2 made eye contact for the first time ever, real chemistry. Oh, okay. Oh, now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Here going Gymshark. Indeed. I do own a lot of Gymshark. Someone's paired me up there.
Oh, that was well bowled by
Hopefully
Molly.
an ambassador.
Mate, I wanted to say earlier.
Yeah, what do you want to say, mate?
You praised the Indian spinners. I'd like to praise the Australian spinners. I wish they're...
Racist. Why do you just want to praise the white people?
I don't know.
Fucking hell, you've got some real issues, mate. Sorry.
No, I'm just trying to keep our eyes down so that when this clip gets played around and whatever, like they can say, well, Pez wasn't comfortable
Oh,
with it.
okay, yeah, right.
Yeah. Once we get our hair, we'll resume, but I'll just be like...
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Gardner, Molyneux,
Yeah.
Wareham. All very good spinners. It's a great trio.
Wareham's control via leg spin.
Yeah, via the art of leg spin, the medium.
Yes, I proffer to you, sir,
Mm,
who's just come on to bowl, actually. And should probably go for like 22 of this over now.
Right.
But like, just great skill. You would know a lot more about leg spinning than I, but I can appreciate how difficult a craft it is. And she lands them.
So, super chat from my IC,
Yeah.
90. Fuck, marry, kill, Ponting, Sachin, Lara.
I will marry Ricky Ponting. Now I've got myself in a pickle.
Yeah, you do. Someone's got to die. That's why I said sort of best friend, because I mean...
that was an issue. Well, I can't kill Ponting,
I understand.
so I'm killing Sachin. I'm really
Because
sorry.
you'd rather have sex with Brian
Brian
Lara
Lara.
than Sachin Tendulkar.
Yep. I'm really sorry.
You've just come on to this stream sponsored by ACCO, and you've said
that I hate Sachin
you're going to
Tendulkar.
kill Sachin Tendulkar. I mean, it was only a few days ago you said you were killing Mike Atherton.
Got issues, mate. What about you?
Sachin.
What about him?
Fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah.
I'm killing Lara. Don't say it's racist. See the brain whirring into gear.
Oh, Brian Lara. Oh,
Whoa. In this day and age.
wow.
Wow.
I thought we'd come so far.
Wow, you guys only interviewed Holding like a few months ago. Fucking hell.
Yeah, okay. No, I understand. I understand. So but who are you marrying?
So stupid.
No,
I don't know
answer
how
the
to,
question.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Yeah.
who am I marrying? I've got to
then-
marry someone now.
Yeah.
I've got
better tell
I've
Tory.
got to have sex with somebody else.
A man, no
I've
less.
got to have sex with
Which is fine, by the way.
I've got to have sex with a Gen X man.
Yeah, is it Prime Lara or like is it Sachin?
You know
now?
what?
'Cause I-
I'd rather marry Ricky Ponting because I think I don't think the sex with Ponting's very good. Fuck this. I think Punter takes you out to the dogs. He's got his shirt tucked in like he's going to play golf tomorrow.
got a tightless hat on.
Exactly. Whereas I think Sachin is tender, and I think he's got there's some, for a white guy like me, he's going to take you to exotic places. And I
Sure.
think he's got access to places and he knows how to use it because he's Sachin.
Yeah.
Whereas like Ricky will give you a nice life and he makes a lot of
Exactly,
money, but
yeah,
I don't really
exactly.
feel like there's a lot of romance there.
He's always working,
He's a lovely man.
which is why I've got a piece on the side.
Oh. I just think Sachin could take you to a higher place. There's fucking no chance.
I think just Brian Lara is just,
Can't believe I've killed Lara here.
oh well.
Well, that's what you did.
It's what you chose. And that'll be on your gravestone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people enjoyed that. And that's what this commentary is. And that's what commentary should be. So if you like hypotheticals,
Okay, Higo's chose a black guy for good times over an Indian, so racist.
know what I like. Okay.
Oh, God. Welcome to the future of sports broadcasting.
Yeah. Let's just keep tiptoeing. Interracial marriage. Indeed. Smith, Virat, or Root?
See, this is... what a shot.
Shot.
That's an incredible shot. Mate, how good's
Smriti
Mandana to watch?
Yeah.
Started okay.
She's been India's best bat. I think I'm right in saying that. Yeah, well, she scored a fucking 100 in the test match. She scored like a 90 in the ODI. Looks the business. I've never seen her play before, nor ever heard her name. And that's her problem, not mine.
Until tonight. No, she's a exceptional player. Yeah, just waited on that too. Look at that.
4 more. Sorry. That's why you don't talk.
I'll commentate off TV.
Yeah, exactly. You fucking idiot. Yeah. Interesting start here. Pez, 109 of 75, 8.72 runs and over.
Oh, you'd take that start from India.
I would have taken that start.
You were offered it. You took it.
Nathan Bracken, a side piece for me.
Nathan Bracken gave me a lift home once.
That's right.
From a cricket game.
That's right. That he wasn't playing in?
He was playing.
He was playing in?
In that game.
Was he an Australian international at this point?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. As in he was currently playing for Australia. Yeah.
I was there to support a friend who was debuting in first grade.
Yeah.
And playing against Uni New South Wales.
Yeah.
Against Dave Langford Smith, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not. And...
Slater playing?
Nah, just a bit after Slater.
Mm-hmm.
Just. Slater wouldn't have been playing grade cricket.
That's going to be close. Good fielding.
And Balmain won, and we went to the sheds, the Balmain team. This is back in the good old days.
Yeah.
Invited everybody in if you're with the club at the away ground to sing the song, which is pretty cool. I would have been like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And I got in there, and there was one player naked, but for a court jester hat on his head. Not Nathan Bracken.
Yeah.
So he sung Tigerland. And then I was going to make my way home to Drummoyne from like Randwick.
Yeah.
And
not the easiest journey.
No. And
Mandana's been hitting the elbow here.
And Nicola Carey's happy.
Yeah.
And I just mentioned, I don't know how it came, but a first grader said, Brax is going that way. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, so someone's nominating Brax to
give me a lift home.
I bet you appreciate
Bracken
that.
was great. No, well, he lived nearby, and we just chatted all the way home about cricket.
Yeah.
He was really lovely.
I once gave, this guy was not an international player, but I once gave a lift home to a guy who was in my team when I wasn't even captain of the team. I just gave this guy a lift home, and he was really quiet. I had like one conversation, like basically pulling out of the car park, and then he did not talk the entire way home, and I've never been more convinced that I was going to be murdered. Good bowler, he swung it.
Why aren't you talking to me? Don't you feel like saying something like that? Why don't you talk to me?
It's because I'm naked. It's because I'm driving my car. Naked. Mate, copping one on the elbow. Fuck that. Well, in this little rain break, fucking hell, Ian, you stupid man.
You stupid man.
Let's have a look at the scorecard here. Smriti Mandana doing the business. Slow start, but has hit, teed up Vlamic and then had a couple of boundaries of that last over off Nicola Carey as well. Obviously, Rodriguez steadying the ship as well at the other end. So, interesting game here. 150. 150. Chasing 150.
Just going to read another super chat out here. Here goes.
Yeah, I'll just put the bowler card real
please,
quick.
of course.
Ash Gardner again. Wicket on the first over. Big one of Verma. Ash Gardner 2 overs. 1 for 7. Again, spinners look the trick here. Ash Gardner's coming to bowl her third over. Interesting time to use her. Okay, carry on.
My IC 90 writes in again. Funniest thing I read about Ambrose is 7 for 1. And this is a quote that's not attributed. Not the first time Big Kirtley's exploited cracks with his good length. What do you think about that style of humour, mate?
It's
unverifiable and unfair.
Yeah, I think it's I think people more qualified than me would actually say that it's racist. So I don't know if I want to go with that.
Other stuff.
Oh, all good.
Kill Brian Lara.
Fill your boots. Oh, yeah. Kill Brian Lara, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd fuck Brian Lara.
Yeah, we saw him in the. That's close. That's close, Pez. Oh, we saw Brian Lara, didn't we? Do you remember the time we were in the members bar in Adelaide? We were. This is the last time we did live shows on the stages before COVID. We were in Adelaide in the summer of 2018-19. Pakistan. It was in Warner. Scored 300, and we went into the members bar. We'd been filming that day for TV, and then we went to the members bar afterwards. And then Brian Lara came in with was it 4 women? Either side of him. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And then he was the amount of people who've just drawn to him. He just came into the bar about 5 minutes after us. We didn't get that kind of attention, did we? It was just the prince was in town. He walked in.
He comes here a fair bit.
Absolutely, yeah. He likes Australia, and why not?
Yeah,
wasn't his first?
We didn't go up to him.
Wasn't his first daughter born here? Sydney.
He named his daughter after the place.
His first Test 100.
Of his first Test 100,
Yeah.
Sydney.
And then he made the joke, he said he's lucky he didn't score it in Pakistan in Lahore. He's made that joke several times. So, just letting you know what's going on.
Yeah.
With Brian Lara.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. Harry writes in.
Yeah,
Thank you, Harry. Ravi Kumar. Boys, what's your Oz 11 for this World Cup? Does Smith make it in or Marsh?
Smith's playing ahead of Marsh. If it's down to those two, I don't think it is. Yeah, Pez and I were having a chat socially the other day, and we were just trying to figure out what the actual team is for Australia.
And so there's a difference between what we would have and what they'll probably go with.
So the openers are set. Finch and Warner. That's a lock. Finch is the captain. Finch has said recently that Warner will open the batting with him. Your bowlers are pretty set, I would have thought. Cummins, Stark, I think Hazelwood.
Not necessarily.
They might not play 3 quicks, but
Zampa and Agar will play.
Agar.
Maybe not Agar. Zampa will play. And they might get some overs out of Maxwell as well.
And the keeper will be Wade.
And so Wade's got to get in there, and that's your issue as well. So Wade could bat 3, though he didn't bat 3 at any point when he was actually in the squad in Bangladesh or West Indies. So you have to. They opened with him.
Yeah, typically Smith bats 3 when he plays, but this is part of Australia's problem. They never play a full strength team. We don't really know what the team is. Mitch Marsh has been the best player in white ball cricket for Australia in the last year. Though they haven't played much, but he's done well. But he's done well batting.
Where does
3.
Maxwell bat for RCB? Is it 4 or
4?
5? 4. So he'll be 4. Lock that. Has to be.
I'm just not convinced they're going to put him at 4. I think it'd be a huge mistake, but that's great feeling from Perry. So
you can sort of piece it in. Is Stoinis fit?
Well, he hasn't played for Delhi, but his scans came back from his hamstring. I didn't think it was that bad.
I think that Langer will pick Marsh ahead of Stoinis, and I think that will sort out the situation. Langer and Stoinis are not great mates.
No.
And Langer and Marsh are, and Marsh has played well. Stoinis doesn't have runs on the board. Stoinis should play ahead of Marsh ultimately if Australia want to win the World Cup. I think Marsh will go. I think Smith will play 3, and
so let's say Maxwell 4. It's just
Maxwell will play. It might be Smith 3, Marsh 4, Maxwell 5, Wade 6. And then Agar 7, and then
that's not a good team.
And then Cummins 8, Stark 9,
Zampa 11,
Hazelwood or Richardson 10, and Zampa 11.
That's not a good team. The bowling's okay. But batting wise,
you have to get rid of Smith.
I
don't think so. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't get rid of him. No. Great shot from Underno there down the ground.
But what do you do with Mitch Marsh? You just don't play him.
It's harsh, isn't it, mate? Because he's been the best player in the B team we put out.
He's the only guy who's performed for Australia. Literally,
you know
Warner
what?
hasn't.
And you know what? Mitch Marsh is a good player. I agree. He's done good things. Stoinis hasn't really done that well for Australia.
No.
But he does really well in the IPL, and he's clearly a good player as well. It's tricky. It's tricky. But I just feel like batting wise, why does it feel like if Maxwell doesn't do something amazing or Warner doesn't do something good? But maybe it's most teams, man. You know, like they rely heavily on two. But the good teams like India and England won't. I don't know. I just can't see how Australia do anything better than a semi-final. I think if we make a semi-final, that's
But no, like think about it this way. Finch and Warner, best opening partners in the world, right? So get us off to a great start. Smith, best bat in the world. So that's 50 there. Maxwell, obviously in form. More runs there. Wade, great cricketer. Mitch Marsh, belt him everywhere. You know, Agar, Zampa, keeping it tight. Cummins, good looking. Stark, swinging him in. You know? Richardson, off speed. So what about that?
When they're playing against no one. Yeah, it's a good team. India's got himself into an interesting position here where they've only lost one wicket, but that run rate's creeping up towards 10. Spinners have done a job here for Australia, just sort of tied it down a little bit, just getting that run rate creeping up.
Who has Australia brought into their Australia's T20 side is very much like Manchester United sides that were really good 3 years before they actually played that game. Like when Man United had like Schweinsteiger and Zlatan and all these guys that were like really good like 3 or 4 years ago. Like that, like the Australian T20 squad hasn't brought anybody in.
No.
Like there's nobody who's current. Like a current player would be like a Tim David. Like the current players are like Nathan Ellis, Tim David, Glenn Maxwell, like guys who are hot and fresh now. Our players are hot and fresh in 2016. Like just out of the World Cup, like 2015.
Where taking Jemima down the ground. Yeah, just wicket looks a little slow. It looks hard to get away. I think pace off is the key here.
Smritty still on. I feel like India, when it's going to get tight, as they did the other night, could take the gas under pressure.
Well bowled again from Wareham. She lands them.
She does land them. She'd take wickets in grade cricket. Anyway, the comparison's not helpful.
Of course she would, yeah.
But
the fans go wild there, the Gold Coast.
Get rid of one of the quicks for Stoinis. Part of the problem with the Australian side is there's a lot of sacred cows.
Agreed.
There's a lot of guys that you're like, no, here's a name. He's not up for like conversation. Warner, sacred cow. Finch, sacred cow. Smith, sacred cow. Cummins, sacred cow. Stark, sacred cow. Hazelwood, sacred cow. Less so.
Yeah.
There's like 5 or 6 sacred cows.
I think there's also a little bit of a problem if you look at national teams, test team, and their white ball squads. They're I wouldn't say markedly. Every team has got like multiple multi-format players. So like but Australia feel like they have too many of the same guys in their best 11.
Yeah, sacred cows.
Haven't developed like enough white ball players like India and England have.
They also lack.
But England should have.
They lack imagination. Australia. There because we're scared. We're a scared nation. I mean, look at our lockdown policy.
Yeah.
Like
just a border policy generally.
We lack imagination. When it comes to sport. There are guys like reasons like guys like Fawad Ahmed not coming through.
Yeah.
I know Chris Green ended up having issues with his action and stuff, but he was another guy that was like, he's an interesting T20 player. I know I mentioned Tim David before. I know people, Dan Christian's on the nose, a lot of people at the moment, but he's a guy that like, he's against the grain in terms of being like a guy who's belted heaps of first class runs or whatever, but he's clearly a good T20 operator.
Yep.
Like guys like this, they're the people who will win you a tournament. They'll get you through. Nathan Ellis is really interesting. It's like, but in Australia we go, but he's not ticking those boxes for me. He doesn't look like we're like Boston Red Sox scouting program before Moneyball. Like you just got to look good. You got to be 140s. You got to be this.
I think Australia keep picking teams of like, what's going to win at the Gabba, and we keep pretending like every game is played at the Gabba, but most games aren't played at the Gabba.
That's true. That's a really good point.
Like the team that they've taken to the UAE, it's a team that would do really well if the World Cup was in Australia.
Yep.
But it ain't.
And it's the same team, basically.
That's it.
That's what they'd have.
That's it.
Like, even if we had effective guys who bowled at 125, 135 to really make the most of a Sharjah wicket, we would be too afraid to pick them, or we'd be too afraid to drop sacred cows.
Because this won't work because it won't work at home. That's the thing.
It's just how we think. Like, they're just people who are beyond like accountability.
Annabelle Sutherland coming on for a first over. This would be...
You'd go after it, wouldn't you?
I would have thought so, yeah. It's quite an interesting moment in the game. But bowling to Harmanpreet Kaur, new batter at the crease.
Good time to bring her on.
Good time to bring her on, yeah. Get into it. You can't really get into your work in T20s, can you?
Nah.
It's just,
I feel like a spinner could come into their work in the middle overs.
Executing like from ball one, basically. I don't know, man. Watching the IPL and like how quickly the game has developed. Like, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, Australia's...
you mean take your time to get into your work.
Yeah. Australia's the only country that don't take T20 seriously and never have. Like, how have we never won a World Cup? Or been close, ever?
I think we won one, didn't we?
Bit of juggling work. No, we never won one.
Oh.
No.
Made the final one? Made the final in 2010 or some shit?
Don't know about that. I don't know if we've ever made the final.
I'm sure.
Did we make the final when England won?
Yeah.
When England won, it was at the final. Someone let me know.
I'm sure we've made a final.
When England won and in 20 whatever, did they beat Australia in the final? Is that right?
I'm sure we've made a final, if not won one. IZW, surely Moses should have been selected. Don't know. Why?
Know about that.
Why?
Yeah, he's never done anything in white ball cricket for Australia. But he's in the IPL.
Normal human, I would be scared if Ponting becomes Australia coach. The way he has carried DC's insane. Yes, he should be. But it won't happen.
He won't though. Why would you leave home for most of the year when you can just go to the IPL for... it's a 6-week tournament. You're probably like 2 months. 2 months over there. Better planning stuff beforehand probably. Just get paid the same amount broadly. And then do your commentary stuff at home.
England versus Australia 2010, yeah.
Right.
So, a lot of people are asking here about Ponting as India coach. I mean, I'd be devastated.
Absolutely no chance that's happening.
Oh, really?
Well, he's not going to move to India. He's got young daughters here.
Data gets in his ear.
I mean, yeah. He'd only be doing that for a creative challenge.
Well, if it did happen, I'd be devastated.
Oh, yeah. They're talking about Tom Moody might be lining up.
Apparently, good coach.
Yeah. He's done good stuff with Sunrisers this year.
Yeah, that's good.
Although he was director of cricket, he wasn't the coach. Not sure what you need director of cricket for, mate.
Trevor Bayliss was a coach too.
Mate, do you know what mate, you and I have both had cricket coaches.
Yeah, can agree with that.
And I just think about like when I look at a bench and the IPL, just for instance, and I look at all the fucking lanyards, just blokes wearing lanyards with accreditation on it, who'd be telling players what to do. It would have to be like, mate, fuck off. I've been the best player on my team since I was 3. Just give me a bit of analytics, get the fuck out of my way, create a good environment, and let me play cricket, mate. Like, that's a gap in my knowledge because I don't know what it's like in the professional level. Like, it's obviously different to club cricket. I appreciate that, but just look at all the people that are associated with professional cricket teams specifically. Not interested in like football, like director of football, and all that kind of stuff, and what Ferguson does on a match day, talking to fucking Khabib, talking about choking out McGregor. Then Ferguson telling him he should have started Ronaldo.
There you go, down the ground.
Great shot off Gardner.
Great shot, Smitty.
But like in cricket, it's like the amount of people like used to come up to you during a game. It's like try and talk to you about the glory years. Leave me alone. I don't care. I don't care what you did. It's just my 2 cents, man.
Too many staff.
Too many staff. Too many blokes knocking about. Just knocking about.
But in Australia, we need coaches to dilute the head coach.
Yeah.
To provide layers of
Australia's
protection.
only success under this current stewardship was when Steve Waugh and Ricky Ponting were brought in to consult during the World Cup and Ashes campaign to sort of have a separation between the coach and the players. That seems like a healthy thing that needed to have happened.
But too many people.
It's too many people.
I've had people before like send me a good one is like
great fielding.
They'll do a team photo and then they'll do the team photo with all the staff and the staff often outnumber the players.
Mate, can you imagine that environment? Just fucking that many people just trying to create value in their jobs. Jobs worth is what it's called in the UK.
I do recall.
It'll be Kumble, lads. That's interesting. He's with Punjab, isn't he, Kumble? Good shot. Unless there's a fielder out there. Not great shot.
That's the eternal commentary comment. Hey, when we were in the UK, a player said to me, we were at the hotel with the players doing an interview.
Yeah.
And a player said to me something to that effect, just that, like, it's just unbelievable how many stuff there are.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that actually sticks out to you from the Amazon doc.
Yeah.
The text, test, it sticks out to you.
Yeah. You obviously got my letter that I wrote.
Yep.
It's really stuck out to me, mate.
Yeah. There's just stuff. It's stuff galore. But I don't know. I often find, like, it's an easy comment to make without, like, attaching a solution.
But I don't. Yeah, because also I don't know.
Let players work it out for themselves. Like I did, like my father did, like his father did.
But yeah, I think that also can actually be a benefit if the whole environment is being led really well and it's a really happy environment. Now, obviously, when the team wins games, it's going to be a happier environment. But like, I mean, this is the same thing with like any institution, any sports team. The fish rots from the head. And that can start from like a coach, a CEO, a director, whatever.
Everybody knows a fish rots from the head.
Yeah, it does. And so like that, if that environment is toxic, it's just going to filter through and like, it's just so obvious, man. But yeah, no, looking forward to us getting knocked out in the groups and winning fucking 3-1 in the Ashes. I mean, how the fuck are they even going to win a game, man? They haven't won a game here in 10 years. One game. They won one game in 10 years. More.
But do you recall that cricket is a funny game? Do you recall that?
It's like Squid Game. It's a funny game.
Did you watch all of that?
I'm actually up to the last episode.
Oh, right.
Now that I've said that, people are going to tell me what happens, but please don't. But yeah, I'm up to the last episode. What are you up to?
I watched episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah. Yeah. I can appreciate the hype. It's good. I've enjoyed it. MS, thank you for your Kiwi dollar, brother. And
another one from MS.
Amusing but genuine idea.
Next
IPL stream, I pay for y'all to click collect Royal Challenger whiskey at store near you and you review it. Thoughts?
That could be fun.
Royal Challenge whiskey. I'm actually not drinking at the moment. I haven't had a drink in a while.
Yeah.
About a month.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you want to do that?
Yeah, let's get fucked up. I've had enough. Yeah. Had enough of sobriety. We're looking at Pairs, 10 and over. Smriti Mandana attacking Molyneux.
It's all down to Smriti.
Mate, how do you feel about spinners bowling with mid-on or mid-off up? I just don't understand it. It's like the easiest shot to play if you're a batter facing slow bowling. I find it bizarre. Especially when they're 10. They need boundaries. Like
was Molyneux bowling with both mid-on and mid-off up?
Mid-off was up before.
Oh, mid-off was up?
Yep.
You want them both back?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Surely that'd just be data, wouldn't it, around like where they like to score their runs?
Absolutely has to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you're really saying is that you like hitting over the top straight. Just
see it almost every time. It's where spinners get hit. Make someone play across the line. But also you want fielders everywhere, so you got to keep that in mind.
Just have a fielder wherever they hit it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's good bowling.
Big old front dog there.
Getting a good look at a pad there.
Yeah, good old look.
Start talking like that.
Yeah.
How'd you talk to the batter there? Hey, good look at the pad out there.
Big front paddy.
Big old front dog there.
Big old front paddy.
Oh, Soph, hit that front dog.
Super chat, Pez.
Here's a super chat. My IC again.
Shot.
Another shot from Mandana. Is there someone out there? There he is.
Good feel, good data.
An apropos segue. 10 people in world cricket you would want to watch in a reality TV series, and what would that be? Could be players, coaches, admin.
So my idea is it's the very original Real World on MTV in like the year 2001. So they're all living in a house and they've got to get jobs at like a juice factory. Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm listening.
And in that in that house, I've got to name 10.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I mean,
Slater.
Yep. Slater and Warner.
Yeah. Warren.
It's a shame Sluts got done for just some tweets like 8 months ago.
I mean, who do you
it's basically Warren's mural.
Ashwin.
Yeah, it's Warren's mural. It's Jack
The
Nicklaus.
cricket people.
You're saying Jack Nicklaus isn't a cricket person? He's courtside every game for every South Australian Redbacks game. Ashwin, Muhammad Amir.
Yeah, we're gonna go around the countries.
Salman Butt's, he's got a shiv.
Yeah,
he's got his eye on Ashwin.
I'd have Imran Khan.
Of course, yeah. It was his birthday the other day.
Oh, happy birthday, Imran! If you're watching, Imran Khan.
If you're not wheeling and dealing with
so we got Ashwin, nations. We got Imran Khan.
Yeah, Salman Butt.
Why?
Just an interesting figure in cricket. He's an interesting world figure in cricket. You need an opening batsman. Robin Smith.
I'd watch Ian Chappell.
Yep.
And Ian Botham because they had each other.
Neil Fairbrother.
Right.
Now think of the 92 World Cup with England players.
Well, just Heath Strick, Salman Butt.
Henry Alonga. Someone's got to sing.
You got to tee up Nicola Carey here, don't you?
Yeah, mate. You got to tee up. Smriti Mandana, 47.
Marlon Samuels.
Oh, fuck yeah. Now we're
That's
talking.
good.
Now we're talking. Imagine the juice shot. They'd have to work in the real world. Warren and Marlon Samuels. Oh, shot.
What a shot.
Yeah, brings up the 50.
Up. Isn't that beautiful?
Brings up the 50. This is game on.
Mate, she can do it here, Smriti.
Yeah, so you think it's going to get close and they choke? I'm down for a choke.
Yeah, I think Smriti will do very well to be there at the end, and if she's not.
Do you think there's a difference between choking and bottling it? Is that just lexicon? What do you think?
I'd like there to be a difference. I like the idea that there is a subtle difference between choking and bottling it.
Yeah.
I think like
Andre Nell.
Look, no, I think they do make the same thing.
Yeah,
but like I think a choke is a specific episode. Like you can only really choke if like victory was in sight.
Yeah, it's like finish line stuff. Yeah.
Bottling it is a little bit like you can bottle it out of a challenge or something. You can be a bit more scared. It's a global fear.
Totally.
You know, I mean, you guys bottled it today.
Totally.
Like just generally bottle it. Whereas you choke, it's like you engineered the opportunity to win, but you fucked it up.
I think the antithesis of choke is clutch because you can't be.
Yes.
You can't. The antithesis of bottling it isn't clutch because
you can bottle it out of a relationship.
Clutch is a moment, and choking I think is a moment. They choked. You bottle it out of a relationship.
You fucking bottled that, didn't you?
You bottled it there.
You fucking bottled that.
How much? 6 months. You bottled it.
You can say that feasibly to someone. You fucking bottled it, mate.
But if you get engaged, mate, that was clutch.
Mate, fucking commitment. You know, you fucking bottled it out of commitment.
That's the most boyish thing I've ever heard. Someone gets engaged, mate. Clutch.
Yeah.
That's clutch.
Clutch call, mate. Absolutely clutched.
What'd you say? Yes, mate. That's clutch.
Fucking clutch.
Clutch. The other word that gets overused in like...
Pez hasn't bowled, has she?
No. Word that gets overused in like East London.
No. I don't know a word that gets overused in the specific area of London in the East. What is it?
That's class.
Oh.
That's class. Oh, you get married?
Is that a London thing?
Get married. That's class.
That's class.
Yeah.
North would say class.
Oh, I had it more down more as a Cockneyism. Maybe that's wrong.
Class. That's class.
Yeah, so you're going for a Mancunian.
Cunian.
What did I say?
Curian.
Oh, yeah. The Mancunian candidate.
That's Manchurian.
Yes, I know. Oh, trouble.
Is that trouble?
Little drop kick.
Little drop kick.
That's a catch under lights running back.
It is from the skip.
Landing. and then just hold it. Just be like, yeah, that was a good catch. That was a big moment.
I'm holding it close. I clutched it.
Tell you what, Australian fielding, it's better.
There we go. And there's Smitty.
Best fielding outfit in the world.
Yep. Men and women.
Who's the best men's fielding team?
Yeah, I don't feel like it's clear anymore.
Nah. It was just used to be Australia.
Like 20 years ago, it was Australia.
But
it's been a long time since Australia was like fucking hot.
Simons, Ponting, Clark.
Yeah.
Just fucking throw the stumps down from anywhere. Hot.
Mark Waugh, like before that.
But the best fielder in the world is probably Jadeja, right?
Is it? Yeah.
Probably. I'm trying to think.
It's hard to say.
Who's Australia's best fielder? Steve Smith?
Maxwell.
Maxwell is. That's right. Maxwell is. Yep.
Steve Smith's a very good fielder.
He drops a lot of catches, though.
Does he?
Smith, yeah. But he takes some hangers.
I love Smith in the ring. I love the energy, but he fields in the grippers for most big part.
Hands. Big old hands.
Buckets, yeah.
Tell you, he was a good fielder. Martin Guptill.
Is he?
Yeah,
okay.
He was quick. Two-toe.
Right.
Two-toe Guptill.
Two-toe Gups, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Two-toe Gups. Yeah.
Let's talk about other good fielders. It makes me feel good to talk about it.
South Africa.
Jonty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Easy. King.
Faf was pretty good.
Yep.
I think Macram's good.
A-B de Villiers.
Bavuma.
Yeah.
ODI captain, I think. New Zealand currently. Conway? Nah. There's a Kiwi watch this. Who's your best fielder? Guptill is not in the team anymore. Is he? Actually, he might be in the World Cup squad. I think I might have just lied. It's Guptill then.
Okay, England.
England's an interesting one. Jason Roy threw the ball in for the World Cup final.
Stokes, obviously.
Stokes
Stokes an outfielder.
Oh, he took that great catch in the World Cup, though, didn't he?
Stokes is an outfielder.
Yeah. Who's England ring?
Yeah, Herschel Gibbs. That's a great shout.
Herschel Gibbs was great.
Someone says Nathan Lyon. Disagree. Andrew Simons is actually the best fielder
ever.
That I think I saw, and underrated.
I
watched
underrated.
Andrew Simons. I remember he used to make mid-off and mid-on attacking positions.
Phillips, Glenn Phillips.
Glenn Phillips.
For the Kiwis, that's a great
Chris
shout.
Jordan, great
Chris
fielder.
Jordan, he's actually probably the best fielder. He'd be up there for best in world cricket.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, he doesn't drop him. I actually don't rate him as a bowler internationally, but he's a gun fielder, yeah. Oh, I think actually maybe he's better than Jadeja.
Who?
Chris Jordan.
Chris Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, Yuvraj was a good fielder.
I'm trying to think.
It says Ponting over Simons over Ponting. I don't know about that, and that's fair enough. Simons didn't have as much as much time in the sun, but what I would say about Simons, if we were just having an intellectual debate about Ponting versus Simons,
if we were,
Simons would have Ponting covered for all skills.
I agree.
So Ponting Simons would defeat Ponting from the outfield, which isn't to say that Ponting isn't good.
Yep.
Ponting didn't spend a lot of time out there. I'm sure Ponting would make a fist of it.
Yep.
Infield, I don't think there'd be too much difference. Hitting the stumps, you have to say Ponting, but Simons was very good at hitting the stumps.
So I think you don't get Simons without Ponting. It's like LeBron Jordan stuff for fielding. I don't think Ponting was the first Australian who was like.
Oh, hang on, you're saying
in that ODI era.
You can't say we can't compare them because Ponting produced Simons. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying Ponting was the first person to consistently throw the stumps down in ODI cricket for Australia.
I agree.
He was and so he became this. He wasn't cult because it was Ricky Ponting, but he
invented he made it a thing.
Yeah, he made it a thing.
Yeah,
and then Simons was probably slightly better at it, but Ponting was the first one. That's why I was saying the conversation around okay, it's not a great comparison, but the comparison between Jordan and LeBron, LeBron's numbers are better.
Yeah,
Jordan. LeBron doesn't exist without Jordan kind of thing.
I understand. Callis was a great fielder.
Good slipper. Not a good fielder. Slip.
Pollock. No. Pollock. I mean, outfielders now, probably talk about Brett Lee. Arms. Just rocket arm.
So that's where I've got Simons ahead of Ponting.
Yeah.
Stronger arm.
Yeah.
Shot. Straight to cover.
Yep.
Perfect. Collingwood. Collingwood's a great player.
He
He's
was
a good fielder.
Good in the ring. Brendan McCullum. Yeah.
Collingwood's catch off Matthew Hayden
Yeah.
in that ODI is up there for me with the best catch I've ever seen on TV. Obviously, wasn't there. The other good one, Simon's best one ever, was I think it was against Dilshan. And I think it might have been in Perth against Sri Lanka. He's in cover. And he kind of like snatches at it. It's like full. There's a bit of conjecture of the touch of the ground and all that, but I think it was Dilshan.
Has the bottle begun here?
I don't think they weren't close enough to winning it, but they're not going to score 13 and over for 4 overs with.
So we're looking here. He goes at
11-5,
an 11-5 scoreline. When people just want to tell you, India's played the better cricket.
That's an embarrassment. 11-5 is an embarrassment. How many people they got there? Can we get Justin Langer on the show tomorrow? Got a lot of people over there. This is how it. Leverock, yeah. Ashwin, number 1 in man catting. Trent Bolt is a very good fielder.
It's run out. Okay. Trent Bolt's a good fielder.
As a neutral in that game, although I would say that I was. No, of course I was. I was definitely supporting New Zealand in that 2019 final. But
Cole is a good fielder. Yeah.
Just watching the last couple of overs in that game. How the fuck New Zealand lost that game? They won that game so many times. Like the Bolt catch, then steps on the rope, the overthrows, even down to the super over. Jimmy Neesham hits a 6 off Archer, then they'd 8 off 4 or something like that, and still don't win. It's incredible. How many times New Zealand won that game? They must fucking kill them. It would like the players. I mean, obviously the fans as well, but
yeah.
I mean, I think about losing fucking close games in 2s.
Do you? Is that when you want to share?
Of other clubs. Games I wasn't even part of. Lou Vincent was a good fielder.
Yeah. He was a match fixer too. So,
Southie's good, yeah. Yeah,
is that right about Lou Vincent? He was involved in something. I'm sorry.
No. He came out as match fixer.
Right.
He spoke very publicly about it.
You know how it's like even when you say someone's a match fixer, it's like the specifics might be like, oh no, they sort of aided somebody else to do something, or like they were they were an accomplice to something rather than the fixer of the match.
Yeah. No,
so just in case Lou's watching.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mark Waugh, of course, yeah.
I'm trying to think of England's I don't think it's Stokes, the best fielder at the moment. Oh, it's Chris Jordan who said this.
Yeah.
Is today last date for announcing the team for World T20?
I think that's right.
Oh, great ball. Nick Carey.
Who was sledging Nick Carey before?
That's the game. I think that's the game. Teopez, great series.
It was a great series, and our interest in the T20s was no doubt helped by the test match, which was fraught with a few structural issues. But nevertheless, it was still a test match that helped build interest in this.
Yeah.
No,
she landed before then.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, she did too. Yeah, a bit behind there. She knew what she was doing there, Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been a good series, and I think that India has played a lot of good cricket, and I think that they have been unlucky with rain because they had momentum a lot of times. And I do think that 11-5 flatters Australia. But it's easy for me to say that and be magnanimous because I'm sitting here with 11-5 in my country's name.
Well, I got to tell you, India, and if you are watching, we fucking smashed you.
Smashed.
And this makes up for everything that's happened maybe this year, maybe other years, I don't know.
You got 5 points once. You could have got 5 points again and still not won.
This has actually been an embarrassment. We've embarrassed your team.
And country. Once again.
Once again.
And it will always remain this way.
Harry Ravikumar is a fun name that I really want to keep saying.
Yeah.
It's a great name. Harry Ravikumar.
Yep.
It rolls off the tongue. He said, but What about India and England 11? I agree. We have too many sacred cows. Look like ODI team than a T20 team. This series was better than 11-5. Yeah, it was better than 11-5.
It was. Oh, England's Ashes squad just got announced.
Oh, yeah? Oh, let's have a look at this. Live reaction.
Live reaction. With great supporters of women's cricket, let's do this squad stuff.
Let's talk about the men's game now.
What's this?
And who are the best men fielders?
The best men fielders.
Yeah. What are you? I'm a men fielder. You mean man fielder? No, I'm a men fielder. Amend? Yeah, like an amendment. The Second Amendment.
Mansfield?
Means you got to keep me guns in the States. Fuck. Quite a tangent I just went on.
Oh, maybe they haven't. It's meant to be today.
Oh, a little tease.
Yeah, a little tease. Oh, no, here it is. I got it. 17-man Ashes squad. No withdrawals. Stokes, Archer,
You
Stone.
fucking meek little coats. No withdrawals. Fucking hell, you're wet. Jesus Christ. Oh, we might not. All of you coming. Fuck me. Who's playing?
So, unavailable is Stokes, Archer, Stone, Sam Curran, stress fracture. No Parkinson or Mahmood, but expect them to be in the Lions squad to provide warm-up opposition. Broad to return to bowling this week. So, the team is batters Root, Bairstow, Burns, Butler, Crawley, Hamid, Lawrence, Milan, Ollie Pope. Seamers, Anderson, Broad, Overton, Robinson, Wokes, Wood. Spinners, Leach, Best. Sorry, not George Best. He's dead.
Hell of what a player.
Hey, there's a player. I guess that's to be expected. I think they should have taken James Vince, but anyway, they should have played him earlier. And then everything else is just
No bolters there.
as expected. No bolters.
So that means Leach is going to play 5 tests. Well, he'll play 4, and then they'll play Don Best in the last one when they're losing 4-0. Mate, look at that team. That's a bad team to come out here.
We're interviewing Graham Swan for our show tomorrow night, and I'm dead keen to ask him about England's approach to spin this year as it relates to Jack Leach, who is going to be asked to come into the side having not been in it for 12 months and essentially
they've told him they don't like him
and carry the load.
Yeah, just bowl in Australia.
Extremely difficult conditions after being so poorly backed over the last few months. I honestly think that is with an X's and O's hat on, that is like that's the number one blocker for them actually piecing together something meaningful against Australia. Like if they had a spinner that could actually do a job, like even when South Africa beat Australia 5 years ago, they had Maharaj, who hadn't really done shit in cricket, but he had enough to be able to hold an innings together for the quicks to do their work. Yeah. They got Jack Leach, who, like, how's he meant to feel about his spot on the England side? Yep. England seamers in the right conditions may be able to do something. I doubt. I mean, Mark Wood's got there's a lot Mark Wood's got to do. Yeah. Because it's just not enough. They're just serving up. They're just serving up medium to medium fast at best.
Taking Chris Wokes out here. I mean, fuck me. Like,
and then. Chris
Wokes is he's a really good cricketer. So like, all those guys are sensational cricketers. Don't get me wrong. You just look at it out here and it's like,
is Stuart Broad even? Is Stuart Broad even?
Mate, how's James Anderson going to keep bowling overs? He's 40, isn't he? 39. Stuart Broad's won't have bowled before. Great gloves. That's really good gloves.
She's got great gloves, Healy.
Yeah, it's really good.
Women's game.
Ollie Robinson, okay, just starting test career. Craig Overton's only played 2 tests in a row once before. Mate, look at that seam attack. That's dreadful.
Man, look at the batters.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's sort of, mate.
It's still though. Like,
how does that team win? How does that team win a game in Australia?
Well, the thing for me is that, like, there's something when you just write a team off completely. Yeah. When your team is so full of issues like, I just think is just asking for it. I'm like, you're not going to catch me genuinely saying 5-0 because, like,
I'll clip that up tomorrow.
Do it. There's something in the air for me in the pattern of Australia's approach to this and the issues that they've got internally that like says to me it's not clear cut. When teams have internal issues like Australia do, they find a way to make other teams look good.
Wood, Wokes, Overton, Robinson, good enough for Bukowski and Payne. Fucking calm your jets there, Ram.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Yeah. Payne and Bukowski.
All right, 5-0.
Fair difference there.
That's going to be 5-0.
Yeah. See what I mean? What I was talking about before, like, I mean, just setting aside the 5-0 chat, but like, you start to think about like, just the talking up beforehand and like, oh yeah, your captain shit and fucking whatever. But then you look at the actual opposition, you're like, I don't see it.
Well, I think it's like in Australia's defence, like I think a lot of those batters would find it difficult to imagine how they're going to get through Cummins and Hazelwood at least. Like I think that Cummins and Hazelwood, Cummins and Hazelwood are bankers.
Yeah.
And Lyon does a great job.
Yeah.
And if Stark isn't fit or if he's not bowling well, there's like 2 or 3 other guys who can come in and go really well. So like Australia's going to have a pretty good bowling innings most of the time.
Yeah.
Their batters are not are no great shakes at the moment. There are no bankers there, and that's where England can get a look in, I think. I do think they've got bowlers that could get a look in there and get on top mentally of a lot of those guys. But I think that... But, so if a couple of the batters can stand up and Joe Root is batting really well, I don't know. It mightn't be as easy as we think it will.
Yeah.
Like what it's just hoping now. They're hoping that like Zach Crawley comes good on flat wickets, that Ollie Pope comes good on flat wickets, that Rory Burns can be resolute, that Hasib Hamid is can come good. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. And that Joe Root is the best in the world, and that Milan is good like it was last time. At best, they've all got to be at their absolute best, which they might be, and Australia could be in bits.
Yeah,
there's a case.
Oh yeah, well it's professional sport, like.
Great shot. Too little, too late. Because you know what's going to happen. It's going to be worst team to come here. Like it's going to be worst team to come here, write them off. We're too good, and like I would be all over that if our side had any evidence of being good. We've got like 3 good players now, and we just bark.
Yeah, I think Australia. I think Payne's going to score his first Test 100.
I think you're right, actually.
I hear what you're saying, Pez.
I just think 5-0's asking for it. I think it's asking for it.
That is a dreadful England team. Dreadful. No spinner. The one they're going to have to play, they've threw their actions, so they don't want to play him. The seam attack is poor. They've got one guy averages more than fucking 7 in Test cricket. The Gabba's back, baby. England should be ashamed of the team they're bringing over here. And the important thing to remember is that none of this matters.
It is. It's an interesting view though, because like if that can, it actually sets the bar of Australia's performance at like it. If you don't smash these guys, there's problems. Which I actually do agree with that. Like that's where it should be.
Yeah.
If Australia can't smash these guys, what the fuck is wrong?
But they'll probably win. 3-0 or something, and it'll be a bit like
sterile.
It's like fucking good enough, and it's like, oh, we'll have another look at, this coach and whatever. Yeah, exactly. Now back to this game. Can they score 20 to 2 overs in a row? I mean, this is the worst way to win a game of cricket, where they're going to finish 6 down and about like 27 runs behind.
Absolute worst. Big circuit for the girls tonight.
Where are they?
How's
that looks out to me. Pairs, that was out. They're gonna look at the review on that, and that was out. Big circuit, Gold Coast, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, can you go out in Queensland at the moment?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure what the rules are.
Yeah, I think you're out.
Yeah, you're out?
You're out and about.
How come there's no crowds?
I'm not sure whether there are restrictions.
There are crowds.
Yeah, there's people there.
Yeah.
Just not that many.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh, walking at it. Oh,
Healy's missed one. Yeah, and they cut the bowling. Yeah,
really good bowling.
Yeah,
Let's
good
not
bowling.
talk about the keeping. That's a hard stumping, isn't it? Oh, that's
really
you
low.
can't do that.
Really low. Having a conversation off air about who's cleaner, Payne or Healy.
Gloves wise.
Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't get cleaner than Payne.
It doesn't, yeah.
I want to talk about this tomorrow on the show, but people don't understand Payne.
No.
People don't understand Payne because when they see an Australian captain, they think you got to be like, you got to score hundreds and dominate and be the best player. And he's not that.
They've been cucked by an Australian captain.
They've been cucked
for 30 years.
And they feel like they sense an opening because Payne isn't that. I see you guys are weak. Nah, that's not how it is.
Taylor, Steve Waugh, Ponting, Clark. Yeah. They've been cucked by all of them. And they're scared. And rightfully so. And they're scared. Who the fuck are you talking to, mate? No, Jofra. No. Jofra was ruled out a while ago. Folks or Payne. Interesting one. Hasn't played enough test cricket, has he?
What?
I think Payne's probably...
Sorry, I was talking about the fielding, yeah.
Payne's up there with best keeper in the world.
Yeah, he's
probably the best.
I've been told by people who know.
Yeah.
Because I always defer when it comes to keeping to keepers.
Yeah.
Because just no real clue what it'll feel like.
It's like goalkeeping.
What to look for. But very good judges believe Payne is an outstanding wicketkeeper.
I can tell that that's going to really annoy English people because I saw him drop a catch last summer. Nah, he's shit.
Oh, what about this catch he dropped once? Yeah.
He's better than Butler. He's better than de Kock.
He did keep poorly against India, though.
He did.
And I think...
in one test, wasn't it? It was just the SCG. Did he drop any other catches? Maybe he did. I don't specifically recall.
Is Cameron Green still in the 11? Yeah, I think so.
BJ Watling was a great keeper. He's obviously retired now. Punt, nah. Who else plays cricket?
I don't know. 36 off 6, the ultimate test.
Yeah, I agree, Chatil, sorry. Stokes missing another away Ashes is a shame.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks for
Stokes and Archer.
Got to say, like as a cricket fan, a fan of the sport, like not having those two guys out here, and then maybe not seeing either of them again. Like who knows what happens with Archer's career? Like there's a small bit of talk about maybe he just becomes a white ball player, which means that we'll see him again at some point. You'd think, but like not in tests. And then maybe won't see Stokes for another Ashes unless he lasts another 4 years. Again, he might, but obviously not in his prime. That's a shame. That's a shame to not have like two fucking worldies to watch from another country that you don't get to see all the time.
You know, like people are saying with Stokes, it's really a case for him of his health, it seems, and giving him the time to get well soon. But he hasn't been completely ruled out yet officially.
No,
I know some people still say like, he may be involved sometime later.
His finger injury is really grim.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understood it that he was really struggling with his mental health more so than the finger. But then the finger has been more in the news this weekend about like the surgery that he's had. Like he had a second surgery on his finger, so it was obviously really grim, whatever the physical injury was. But yeah, he obviously just wanted to be okay. Yeah, it'd be an interesting one. If he was available all of a sudden, just makes their team 10% better. But
big time.
But
connects the whole thing really.
But yeah, imagine
if they were taking the full squad like Archer and Stone and stuff. Like that'd be
Archer, Stone, Stokes makes it better. I still don't think they'd win, but
I still think it'd be 4-0 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, my gripe with the 5-0 thing that I'm going to keep working on this is not. It's the hubris of Australia being good enough to do that.
Yeah.
It's not really about the opposition. It's the idea that we could achieve that when we're and like we haven't played for a year, so like a lot of these guys,
yeah, it's hard to know
at the other end of their career, could be getting worse, as well. Like
England, well, Warner's the best case for that. It's really interesting, but then, I mean, you talk about making cases like that's gone straight up in the air for 6. Just needs 5 more of those off 2 balls. Yeah, you're talking about making cases. I mean, Pekovsky has a breakout summer. Smith continues to average 100 against England, and then Marnus does really well.
Yeah.
And Cummins takes all the wickets. That's just seems more likely to me. But I completely take your point. Like, how a good, like, fucking good teams win 5-0. Like, really good teams win 5 tests in a row.
I think the problem with England's with their bowling is that, like, it's fast, medium, and the conditions are very unforgiving, and tests are back to back.
Yeah.
Like, and I come back to the
back to back 6s.
It's not gone away. Like, I come back to the Leach thing.
Yeah.
If he gets hit out of the attack, those bowlers' bodies are fucked.
Yeah. And you got Anderson and Broad,
exactly,
who are
40
at the very end of their careers.
Exactly. Like, if these guys have to come back,
Mark Wood can play like 2 tests in a row at best.
Mate, Jack Leach's first spell will like go a long way to giving the indicator of the series. Because if they can hit him out of the attack straight away, and it's fucking 30 degrees at the Gabba, and James Anderson's sweating bullets, like
he's got to bowl with a fucking kookaburra.
We don't even know if Broad's calf will recover.
So a big finish there. 2 6s and a 4. They only lost by 15.
Good for net run rate. How good is that? So Indian fans just cheering that. Like, that's great. How do you get that? Hinduism. In a great way. In a great way.
In a grade way.
In a grade way. Put Hinduism in grade terms.
Broad is a Warner-based selection. I don't know, has Warner ever got out to Broad in Australia? Don't know. I like it though. All right, looking forward to seeing Dom Sibley score 30 off.
Is he in it?
600 balls.
Did he make that squad? Did I just read that?
I'm sure he's in it because, I mean, Hamid's got the squad, but it was Will McPherson's tweet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no Sibley.
No Sibley. Well, that's quite a blow for Australia.
Quite a blow for our tweet.
All right, Australia win the series 11-5. That's a spanking. That's actually
in the history of multi-format games.
Yeah.
11-5, as we know, historically is a big win.
That is a humiliation.
Yep.
Yeah, and there'll be no repercussions for me saying that.
Wouldn't have thought so.
Or for this team. Hey, guys, thank you so much, wherever you are around the world, for tuning in at whatever stage you have done for TGC's live stream. Thanks so much. A big week ahead is obviously the DC CSK game tonight. Then there's RCB KKR on Monday night, Tuesday night. Don't know what day it is anymore. So I've got a full program this week. I'll just say it one more time in case you've just tuned in, but we're doing the morning after IPL tomorrow morning. We're doing the morning after IPL Tuesday morning. Then there's Watto's Wrap on Thursday, last one for the IPL. That's going to be covering the loser of 1 versus 2 and the winner of RCB and KKR. And then the finals on Saturday for the morning after there. You can also get hashtag RCGC Fridays on patreon.com/Grey Cricketer, or you can click join and join the Coat tier, and that little button just below here, just down there somewhere. I think that's about it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Australia winning. It makes me feel good, and summer's around the corner. We're still in lockdown, but that doesn't matter because we've just been locked down forever. Anything you want to say, Piers?
Thanks so much for joining. Thanks, Higos, for hosting. And, a whole bunch of stuff to give you guys this week and beyond. India's coming, but not quite yet. Cool thy jets.
Cool thy jets. All right. See you guys.